Welcome to the One Life One Chance podcast. I'm your host, Toby Morse. Today I have one of my favorite couples sitting in my kitchen right here. One from Canada, one from New Jersey. I guess I have to say their phone names, even though I never call them that in real life. So, Mr. Doyle Wolfgang Frankenstein.
Von Frankenstein.
Oh, yeah, von Frankenstein. And Alissa White-Gluz.
Yeah.
Correct.
Very good.
Yeah,
But I never call you guys by your phone names, so this is kind of strange.
We don't call each other by our full names
And
either.
our names are like a lot more complex than yours.
Yeah, for sure.
I got to admit.
So, welcome to the show, you guys.
Thank you.
It's been interesting doing both you guys at one time. I have my questions. If you could see, my questions are on the wall in my kitchen behind you guys. But
we won't peek.
So this question, I guess I'll do the question. When I do the question, it'll be for both you guys. You can answer your own way, okay?
Sure.
So first and foremost, obviously you were born in Lodi, New Jersey.
No, I was born in Paterson, New Jersey.
Oh shit, Patterson.
What? I didn't even know that.
I used to hang out in Patterson, New Jersey. Patterson's awesome.
Sure, yeah.
Wow, interesting. So the stuff's wrong on the interweb.
Everything on the internet's
Well,
wrong.
yeah.
Okay.
That's not real life.
It's true. It's true. We're going to talk about that too.
Yeah.
So Patterson, you were born in Montreal.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. And we're going to get to how you guys met and dated and all that awesome shit later. So growing up in New Jersey, school. And then growing up in Canada, school. How were you in school? Did you like school? Did you graduate? How were your grades?
Ladies first.
Okay.
All right, if you insist. I was actually I love school. And I
Okay.
still would like to return to university and do some more studies at some point when I have time.
Yeah.
If we just move backwards, for a lot of my early touring and like the early and mid 2000s, I was still in university, and I would have to, I would have to write exams in universities in other countries, and I would have to like get my school to coordinate with that university so
Wow.
that I would like do a show, wake up early in the morning, go write an exam, then go do, drive to the next city, do another show. So I was still doing that for a while, and that is like really stressful.
Wow. But you got good grades and stuff?
Yeah, I was a really, really good student.
She's actually a Vulcan.
I'm actually, yeah. No, I really liked school, so I just applied myself to all of it because I really like learning. It was really interesting, and there was me and a girl who's still actually my best friend, and we were the top of the school all throughout high school. Graduated valedictorian of one of my schools.
What year?
Ooh, when did I graduate elementary school?
1912.
1895. No.
That's when you graduated.
Yeah.
When was that?
I graduated high school in 2001, and I graduated elementary school in 1996.
Awesome.
So
That's crazy. We're on tour together then.
We were. I was just thinking that.
No
yeah,
way.
so I was just a little kid, and yeah, but I love school. I always did it. I always just really applied myself, and I got lots of awards in math, public speaking, leadership, gym, theater. I did all the sets, the backdrops for the theater and stuff. I'm not trying to brag, but like I fucking worked hard. And can I swear?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, I worked really hard, and I really liked school. So that was like a good time for me. Actually, I felt like I had really awesome teachers and good schools and good peers. And in the area that I live in, it was like very multicultural. So I feel like I got like a good social education as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What about you, sir?
Horrible in school. Hated school. I got A's in art, gym, and lunch. Yeah, I had a hard time, and I just recently found out that I am dyslexic.
Oh, wow. This late in life, you found that out.
Yeah, I was. She was gonna sing at the Medal of Allegiance the other day, and I had some tea in my luggage, and I was like, I got some tea for you for your vocals, and I don't know what it's called, and I started reading it, and I read Vo Calzone.
Calzone.
I thought it was because I got it in Europe, so
Oh,
I thought it
wow.
was something German name or something, and then, but the first thing I seen was Calzone, so that's what it was.
So you pretty much figured out you're dyslexic.
Well, yeah, she
Well,
figured it out.
No, I mean we knew
Vulcan
before
did.
that, but that was pretty.
Well,
But you haven't been to the
before
doctor for it or anything.
Nah.
Well, it's clear.
But
it's
so did you
crystal clear.
graduate?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you had great grades to pass that. That's good.
No.
But you made it out of
I
school.
made it.
he just
I
banged
made
the teacher to get out.
it. Yeah.
Oh my God! Did you play sports?
Just football.
Okay. So both of you, were you guys into music in school? Were you going to concerts in school? Like your first concert when you were in high school? Or?
Yeah, actually, like I said, I had like a good group of friends, and we would always do group projects together. We had music I don't
program.
even think. Yeah, I don't think that's offered anymore actually. But we had
Not
that.
much.
I played drums actually,
What?
and then I played the flute,
Did you
the
know
lateral
this?
flute.
Okay.
No, you
And-
could play drums in my band if you'd like.
I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm nowhere near that good. But
Doesn't matter.
But yeah, so we had that in music, and then we also like, if we had to do a book report or something, rather
Yeah.
than just handing in some essay, we would actually make songs sometimes, and we
Okay.
would like sing the song about, like we did it about some Shakespeare books we had to read. We like wrote a song and then performed it for the class.
That's awesome.
We did that a few different times in a few different classes. We wrote a play at one point, like a musical.
You're very creative
play.
then.
Yeah, it was fun to do that. And that's why I like this job now, because it's still kind of the same. Like, it's like a group of people, and we get
Yeah.
together and we put together this creative experience, and it's
Yeah.
fun.
Were you guys like kind of the outcast in school?
Oh,
both of you?
totally. I was the only punk rock kid in the school.
I was gonna say that in New Jersey, like.
Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, all the kids my age, they seemed like children to me because, number one, I was twice their size, and I was
Yeah.
just more mature, and I listened to music constantly. That's all I did. And when I was in 8th grade, I was the first person to ever go to school with colored hair.
Wow.
Probably in the world. It was like 1978.
Holy shit.
And I bought it from the girls at Manic Panic.
Yeah, Manic Panic. Yeah, it's still around.
Yeah.
Shout out to Manic Panic.
Tish and
Yeah.
Snooki, right?
Dish and Snooki, yeah.
Snooki. And it was hot pink.
Hot
And
pink.
yeah,
Great color.
it was insane looking. And I went in, they threw me out.
Wow.
Yeah. And then
That's amazing.
I had to dye it black on top. And then it was like dark purple, like
a
grape,
smoky
like
purple.
grape bubble gum.
Mm.
So they let me back in with that. And then when graduation came around, they're like, you better not dye your hair. I'm like, don't worry, I won't. And then I did. And
Last day.
I came back with the pink hair and a pink suit. And
That's
they wouldn't give me my diploma. And it was in the paper. And
No
you can
way.
Google it. It's pink pupil provokes principal.
Holy
Look that up.
Did you
That
know this?
alliteration with the P there, very creative journalism.
Yeah.
I
So-
applaud.
What did your parents think about like that?
My dad got mad at my brother because he had blue hair.
Okay.
And
Oops, I chose the wrong one.
and oh
Shit.
there's still time.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So
Yeah, my mom, she got mad at the principal because
yeah, for sure.
she went to school with the principal. She was fucking really pissed, and they didn't call my name. They just passed it up.
That's
crazy.
so
So I
wrong.
sat on the stage and just gave him the finger.
Yeah, I would
No
have done
way.
that too.
Yeah,
That's so fucked up.
that's what I did.
So is it safe to say that your brothers got you into punk rock?
Well, yeah. I mean, my brother was playing in the garage, practicing, and it's pretty much probably the first punk rock band I heard was the Misfits.
Okay.
And then, we listened to the Sex Pistols and the Ramones and all the
Yeah.
shit, all the shit you
Is
listen
it true
to.
your
was
brothers
to-
hung out with Sid Vicious? I knew him.
He did. He hung out with him. I think he was with him the night he died.
Wow.
Then his mom stayed by our house for a little while after that.
Really?
Yeah.
What about you? Who got you into music?
Funny enough.
Do you have brothers and sisters? You have a sister?
Yeah, funny enough, I also have an older sister, same age, almost the same age difference as you and your brother. I also have an older sister who was doing music before I was, and she's still doing music now. She has a band called No Joy,
Okay.
and I was still in high school, and right from the second she graduated high school, or maybe even before that, I can't remember exactly, but she was touring already, just guitar on her back, Greyhound bus to, across the border to the States, and
Damn.
playing, in New York, and playing in different
Sounds like a
areas.
song.
Yeah.
Does
And-
sound like a song.
yeah, and so she was just already doing that like on her own, just a
Yeah.
drum machine, and so she was really like road warrior
That's
numero
awesome.
uno, yeah, and she's still doing it with her band, and so she was doing that, and I saw her doing that, and we had also. I'm lucky because we didn't have much growing up, but instead
Yeah.
of getting like, fancy clothes or like all the newest technology, we didn't get that. We got like a guitar
That's
and a little drum set and stuff
Yeah,
like that, or a
creative
little
stuff.
bass. So we were able to just kind of mess around with that. And so we were always familiar with those instruments because they were always around us. So
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, my sister still does it now, like I said, and I do it. And my mom loves my band, and my
Yeah.
sister's band loves Doyle.
She listens to my records.
Yeah. So, and my dad too, super into music. So very supportive environment. And in school too, I wasn't, I like you got voted most unique also, right? Because I got voted most unique in the yearbook.
I was a school
And-
jester.
Same.
You
Yeah.
were-
School
yeah.
jester,
Yeah,
you?
Senior year, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
so it was like I didn't give a fuck. You know, it wasn't like I wasn't bullied or anything. I was just like
Yeah.
different, I guess.
It was actually my mom that got us into music because she was a 50s kid and she had
Okay.
all the 45s from all the 50s bands and into the 60s. So when we were little kids, we'd play them, listen to them. Then we just started buying our own shit.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Misfits got kind of that 50s doo-wop vibe. A lot of
Oh, yeah.
melodies and stuff.
Sure.
So, all right. So you're in school. You're getting into music. You're a punk rocker in school. Both of you guys are into music in school. And then were you like focusing on your future in school? Did you know what you wanted to be when you're in school? Like in your senior year, you want to be a musician, or were you all focused on it? Did you already have it like, or were your parents trying to make you go in a different direction?
No, I mean my parents were like open, just do whatever you want to do. Basically, I know that not everybody has that situation, but I'm lucky enough that I did.
Yeah.
In Canada, it's a little different. We go until age 16 in high school, and then for age 17, 18, you're in this like Actually, this isn't even Canada. This is Quebec. We have something called Cégep, which is like an in between high school and university thing, and then you go on to university when you're 19 or 20.
Wow.
And so you have like, you know, you graduate high school having decided to lean a little bit more towards sciences or a little bit more towards art, depending.
Yeah.
And then when you're in Cégep, you can choose even more of a specific direction. And then when you're in university, obviously you choose your area of study.
Yeah.
And I was all over the place in university. Like I did everything from more advanced mathematics to geology, art history. I did a lot of art history, exercise science, biochem, like
Wow.
just a lot of stuff that was
Vulcan.
You're
interesting.
smart, man.
Yeah.
But it was I just really like it. That's
Yeah.
the thing. I think
But is she? Look who she's sitting next to.
just so everyone knows, I'm sitting next to Doyle at this moment, but not Toby. but
Oh shit.
yeah, I think it's just a matter of if you enjoy it. Then, because for me, it wasn't. I mean, it's a lot of work, but
Yeah.
I enjoyed learning, and I still do. So it wasn't as much of a struggle as I think maybe it is for some people, because I really liked it.
That's awesome because
Yeah.
most people to become musicians like I fucking hated school. I couldn't concentrate. I was
Yeah.
looking out the
That's
window.
me, yeah.
Right? No, I was
Like my
super
dad.
into it.
Totally.
My
That's all
teachers
me.
were like, my teachers always told me, they're like, you got both halves of the brain working. So you
Awesome.
got the artistic side and you got the science side, and you got left and right. So, you know, just whatever you want to do, you'll do it. And so I wish all kids would have teachers like that, honestly.
Yeah, my
Yeah, it
teachers
sounds
Really,
sucked.
really encouraging, supportive teachers.
We had shitty teachers in our school.
That sucks.
They didn't care. You know, they didn't care if you
So then
learned
you
or
didn't
not.
care, or you didn't want to focus, or
You can't focus because they need to know how to teach each person individually.
yeah.
That's how you teach.
I
You
just
know?
actually heard that my high school, shout out to Riverdale High School in Montreal, Quebec, it's closing down, I think. I think it
Oh,
might be
wow.
closing down. Yeah. So that makes me really sad.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's been there for a long time, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Me and my sister and my brother all went there.
what
So
were your goals at that time?
It was to be a rock star. I'm still working on that diligently. When is that going to happen? I don't know.
But when did you make the decision in school? Like, you know what? No matter what, as soon as I'm out here, I'm playing music. That's it.
Well, I was at the time already playing music, so I just wanted to continue. But the day after graduation, found myself in the machine shop at 6 o'clock in the morning, saying, "What the fuck am I doing here?"
All right. So
You know?
the machine shop.
Yeah.
The machine shop is it's a family owned.
Right.
So is it? Obviously, I'm sure I talked about a bunch, and maybe people know this, but your family created an X-Acto knife or some sort of razor.
We had our own knives, just like the X-Acto knives, like a competition company, and we
Okay.
would private label for all the companies that did that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so that's how you guys made your custom.
We made
instruments.
the guitars in there too. Yeah, I was looking at the machine one day, and I was looking at the guitar, and I'm like, I can make this fucker on here.
Wow.
Yeah. Then just did it.
Started making them.
Yeah.
So you would work there. You guys, your whole family would pretty much work there on and off the road and stuff. Your
Yeah,
brothers and
yeah. When we were off the road, we'd go right back to work, and that last day of work, all the time, I would think of Tony Iommi because his last day was a machinist when he cut his fingers off right before he became a professional musician.
stuff. Oh wow. I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
So I would be like really nervous, like, "God, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I gotta get out of here. Don't get hurt. Don't get hurt."
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's cool to have that always there. You know what I mean? To
Yeah.
come back to from working.
Yeah.
So you have an older brother Ken,
Right.
and obviously Jerry, and that's it
Right.
for the family, or
That's it.
So 2 older brothers, and my brother's in my band, your brother's in your band. That dynamic's kind of hard to balance sometimes.
Oh God.
Right? Right?
Yeah, it's impossible.
Yeah. I mean, it's great when you're on stage and you're gelling together and whatever the drama was before you're on stage and you click with the music.
Yep.
But all the other stuff, it gets kind of hard.
Yeah, it's too much.
I mean, on the tour we did with you, it was like we said, 2 sets of brothers. It was Lou and Pete from Sick of It All, me and Todd, and then you and Jerry.
Yeah.
That was insane. I wonder if there's ever been a tour like that with that many brothers on.
Yeah, it was a
like
lot.
The Partridge Family and shit. All right, so you get out of school and then, all right, rewind for a second though. So what was your first, do you remember like the first exposure to live music?
I'm not sure what it was actually. I saw live music in the form of theater, like in the high school plays and stuff like that, and talent shows and stuff like that. And then for a long time, I actually just went to local shows before I ever saw like a national act.
Band.
Yeah. So I just went to a lot of local shows and saw, bands playing in the little bars and, like 150 capacity rooms. And I was like, oh, that's what a show is. Like, that's what it is. I just thought that's what it was. At that point, new metal was really big, and there was like still a little bit of like pop punk
for sure.
in the local scene there in Montreal. And
it was actually pretty big there for bands to go there. A lot of fat bands and epitaph bands. I remember that.
Yeah, there was some ska stuff. There was, a good death metal scene too. But a lot of the bands were like leaning towards this new metal thing. So I saw a lot of bands like that. Saw a lot of bands come and go. Went to a lot of shows, like a lot of shows. And I don't drink. I never did. I wasn't into drugs. I'm not like into dancing in clubs and stuff like that. Yeah. So for me, the only thing to do really, if you were going to go out and experience nightlife, was to go see a live band. So that's why I did that a lot.
That's so okay. So why have you been like that your whole life? Was it something around you? Was there something you saw, like something that made you say, I'm not going to be like that? For me, it was my brothers drinking and smoking in the house when my mom was working 2 jobs to raise 3 boys, and I would see them in the house. I'm like, I don't want to be like that. They scared me. Right. So they kind of scared me straight. So what was it for you that made the decision like, I'm not going to do this ever?
Yeah, I think it was kind of like a similar thing in the family, seeing stuff like that. Okay. And just being, really appreciating my own health and not wanting to sabotage that. I started working out when I was like 11 years old or something similar to Doyle.
Yeah, he was 10.
We both started working out really young, and I was really into sports too and playing sports. And so I was like, well, why would I want to damage my performance? And it's the same thing now with being a musician.
Exactly.
Why would I want to damage my ability to perform by doing that?
You love,
it's like I love performing shows and making music, and my instrument is in my body. So like I can't. It's like I can't. You can't take it out if you break a string. It's in there. So you got to take care of your body. So it was basically that. And I also just didn't really feel the temptation to. I guess it's an escape for a lot of people, and I just didn't feel that. Like you
had nothing to escape with. Good home life, good family.
Yeah, it was good. And if there's bad stuff that happens, like I feel like I just always knew that's something you have to work through and come out the other side stronger, and it'll build character, and you just get through it, because I just didn't feel like escaping was the route I wanted to take. So
did you feel pressure back then in school? Not
at all, actually. Some of my friends got into cigarettes and weed and whatever, and some of them went into even further that way.
It sounds like nothing, just cigarettes and weed when you say that, because now everybody's doing pills and coke and all this stuff. Yeah. All cigarettes and weed.
Yeah, that's
crazy
it.
Though back then I was like, that's like, oh my God, they're doing cigarettes.
Yeah, exactly. And of course everyone started drinking at some point, but it was just like not. I don't know. It's so not interesting to me.
And that's before you even really knew about straight edge or probably punk
Exactly.
either.
Yeah, I didn't even know that there was like a name for it.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah. You already like that. Like, oh shit, I connect to that.
Exactly.
What about you, Doyle? You don't seem like a person like a party guy.
Well, growing up with my brother Jerry, he would always be like an influence to get drunk, get high, make me try shit when I was a little kid, peer pressure,
How old were you? Do you remember?
2.
Probably 5. No.
What?
No. Probably like 12, 13.
Wow.
Still young.
Fucking around with shit. And I lost a couple IQs, I think.
Oh, so you did it for a couple years?
No, I was never like hard into any kind of drugs or drinking or anything. It just, I tried everything.
Yeah. And so you both talk about working out when you're in school. Like, what was your motivation to like work out starting at 10 years old?
We had weights, and my dad designed this bench press that had pulleys in the ceiling and in the floor. So when the bench bar would touch your chest, the weights were on the floor. You could never get pinned on it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really clever. And he like put slots in the weights so you could put the weights over the cables. And
Your dad sounds awesome.
yeah, we had all that stuff, and he always used to work out and run, and I don't know. I just figured that's what you do.
Yeah, because you weren't
So I
a little
did it.
guy in school like getting picked on or nothing. I'm gonna get bigger
No.
and defend it wasn't like that.
No,
for you.
no. I just thought that was the thing to do.
And you've never really stopped.
No.
It's something that you never quit, no matter what. Like even on tour, no matter where you
No.
are, you always find time to.
Always doing it on tour every day. We got Power Block dumbbells. Gives us dumbbells and benches. And
Yeah.
I have them in Europe. I have them here. I have them in Jersey.
Yeah.
Just
So
every
that's
day.
kind of like not your addiction, but that's your thing. Like that's your.
I just made it part of my day and part of my life. Like it's my job. So it never bothers me to do it. And it's
Yeah.
not like, oh God, I got to work out. I just do it. Then I do whatever I got
It's
to
like
do.
brushing your teeth every day. It's something you
That's
do.
it. Yeah. It's like taking a crap.
Yeah. So I feel like, and you did that. You started working out just because you wanted to stay in shape because you went to sports.
Yeah, actually, I think as much as your family influences you, your group of friends influence you a lot
Yeah.
too. And in my group of friends, like I was doing karate, and like my closest friend was a black belt in karate, and so that was already an intense workout. And then the gym near the karate dojo they had like an opening for really young people once a week. So if you were age 11 through 14, I think you could go like in this once a week thing where they would
Yeah.
let you in, because otherwise you had to be over 18. But like, yeah, so I started working out there. I was on the volleyball team, so we did workouts with that, and we were a good team. We kicked everyone's ass. Seriously, we have all these gold medals, and that was fun. I really love volleyball. So I was on the volleyball team, so that was a workout too, and yeah, it's fun. I just like sports. I like playing sports.
Yeah.
So
It's a good stress release too, and you know what I mean. Like
yeah, and my whole family works out too. Actually,
still do.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Everyone's pretty fit in my family.
So Doyle, what was your first show like experience seeing like a live band?
My first concert, I think it was Queen at the Garden
Oh shit.
with Thin Lizzy,
That's
Wow.
intense.
1976.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, of course, I seen Misfit shows, early Misfit shows.
How many years were they? So you joined in 80 or something, 1980.
80.
So how many years were they together before that?
3
Okay.
approximately. And then I seen Zeppelin and all kinds of shit,
Wow.
Seen Zeppelin 2 times.
That's insane. How old
Yeah.
you must have been like?
I was 77, so I don't know. What am I, 13?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So those experiences in the live shows. So when did you start playing? You started playing in 80, but were you playing music before you jumped in your
I
brother's band?
started in 78. My brother Jerry got me a guitar when they wouldn't give me my diploma.
Oh man, that's sweet.
Yeah,
man.
I got a guitar, and he showed me the notes on the E string and the A string, and we
Yeah.
wrote them on a piece of paper. We drew the neck, and then Glenn showed me the 2 bar chords, and that's pretty much my lessons.
Wow.
Now I just taught you.
No,
So you joined the band. You're like 16, I think, right?
15.
15.
I recorded the first stuff at 15.
And then what was that? You remember like playing your first show with them? Like playing
I
my
do.
brothers? This is crazy. Like,
It was Halloween night, 1980 at Irving Plaza.
damn.
Screamin' Jay Hawkins was the opener.
Really?
Yeah.
It's so random.
That's
Moon
so
loves
weird.
Moon loves that dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was crazy because everybody in the crowd had a costume. It was like one of those
That's
shows
awesome.
where you had to bring a costume.
Yeah.
So not only am I playing my first show, I'm not even playing it to humans. I'm
Yeah.
playing it
Yeah,
to like
yeah.
Bo Winkle was there and a giant
So
dick.
that must
and-
almost be a little less stressful because you can't see their faces, maybe.
yeah, well, I used to tech for them, so I was
Okay.
I was already standing on the stage. All I
Yeah.
had to do was take a couple more steps out there, and there you are. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
Not trying to be funny, but not saying do you remember Halloween, but did you guys love Halloween? Was that a favorite
oh yeah.
for
Of
your
course.
family and stuff?
Yeah,
Like-
we always liked Halloween and horror movies and
Yeah.
building monster models and monster magazines and all that shit. Yeah.
And where did the devil lock come from?
I would say it came from Dracula or Elvis. I don't know.
Really?
One of them.
Elvis had that shit?
Well, he
Yeah,
had
a
that
little-
little that one
Oh, yeah, we
like
took it
loose
to the
hair
next
in
level,
the front.
though.
Yeah.
And were you a Kiss fan?
I like about a dozen Kiss songs, I would say, out of their
Yeah.
75 albums.
Yeah.
I like the show. I like the whole aspect of how they do it.
Yeah.
You know, actually, I want to go with her when they do this last tour in Montreal.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I would like to see. I've never seen him with the makeup. I seen him without it, and I fell asleep.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I was showing some pictures to Moon's mom before he came here. She said, "Oh, I guess the Misfits were like the punk rock Kiss,
Right.
in a sense." Has anybody ever said that to you? Or?
Probably. I don't know.
Yeah. So you were in that Misfits was like 3 years, pretty much for you, right?
Yeah.
And they broke up. And that was it after that.
That was it for like 12 years, and then we did the Michael Graves era.
Yeah, that's coming. I got that on my list up here. Do you remember who designed like the Misfit skull?
It's from a detective show from the 40s.
Oh,
It's called The Crimson Ghost, and he was the villain. And then I watched the series because it came out after we did the band, because nobody would buy that if we didn't use that skull. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it sold really well for them, and I watched it. And at the end of the fucking series, a dog catches him, and that's how they catch him. A dog runs him down. I'm like, that's our guy? A fucking dog got him? That's it?
Of course, dogs are smart.
It was like a German Shepherd took him out.
So you made it way cooler then, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, when did you join your first band?
I started my first band probably in 2001, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly.
What was your life like that leading up to that, though? Were you in the
High
music
school.
business? Okay.
High
Oh, that's
school.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Yeah. So it was just pretty much straight out of high school. I actually, like I said, I was going to a lot of local shows.
Yeah.
And in my head, I thought I was going to maybe, because I had been doing theater stuff, I thought
Yeah.
maybe I would work as like a crew member for bands, or maybe a manager, or like...
Wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. I figured I would do something behind the scenes, or maybe work at a venue.
Yeah.
Maybe learn lighting, or I
Chose
thought
the right path.
Yeah.
I thought maybe I would do something like that. And so when I was going to shows,
Were you
it was
singing a lot? You singing the
I mean, I sang like with my friends, or just
I asked her, when did you know you could sing? She's like, I thought everybody could sing. I'm like, no.
Yeah, because
Oh.
I thought,
not
yeah,
true.
for real. But I mean, like in my group of friends, I mean, like my closest friends can sing actually. So we would just sing in the staircase in school. Like I said,
Yeah.
we would like write songs instead of doing book reports and stuff, like just for fun.
I like that.
Did
Yeah.
you have like a favorite singer you listening to at the time? Or?
At that point when I was that age, like 16, 17 years old, I was starting to listen to metal and listening to some punk.
Yeah.
And there was of course singers like Freddie Mercury or whatever that is
Yeah.
just understood that they're
But
amazing
did you like
singers.
did you like any women in pop at the time, like Madonna or anything back then? or?
I was never really into pop music actually. The poppiest I would go would be like alternative rock or grunge kind of thing.
Yeah. Alternative rock. I remember that name. Was
Yeah,
so
I know.
crazy.
Alternative rock. Everything that's not pop equals alternative rock.
It's so weird,
Yeah.
man. That term was crazy.
It was so weird. So yeah. So that's pretty much it. I was never really into pop actually, and I'm still not a big fan of pop actually. But if somebody's a freaking killer singer,
Yeah.
then I'm down with it. There's
Yeah.
still a few singers in pop even today that I'm like, you know what, you're such a good singer that I can look past this songwriting because
Yeah.
because the voice is just so good.
So you remember recording like your first record?
I think actually the one female singer that I did have in mind when I started doing my first demos was probably Gwen Stefani.
Sick.
And because at that point,
She's
Tragic
awesome.
Kingdom coming out, and
Yeah,
like I was
yeah,
just
yeah.
like, man, this is great.
Yeah.
And I didn't think
That makes
about
sense.
and I didn't think about myself on stage because, like I said, I was like most unique and I was kind of weird, and I didn't think that I wanted to be on stage because I don't even really like attention. But then I was like, well, she's kind of weird too, and I
Totally.
mean, she's fucking killing it, so maybe I
Yeah.
can do that. And so, and also, my sister was doing it, and actually,
Yeah.
I was so like embarrassed that I was doing it for a long time. I didn't even tell my family that I
Because you
had.
want to think you're trying to copy your sister. or
That's
something?
it. So I didn't even
Yeah.
tell my family that I had a band for like the first like 9 months to a year.
Wow.
And then I was like so nervous that my sister was going to find out. And then she did find out. And I think she made fun of me for it actually when she found out. She
Was
kind of,
laughing now, sister.
well, she kind of gave me shit a little bit, but what are big
Did she
siblings
come to your
for?
first? She came to one of your shows. Your sister did.
No,
When
she's
you
come.
finally told her. Yeah.
She's come now,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but not to the local shows. I don't think she came for a long time actually.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I told my parents and my family, like, don't come. I want to do this on my own. Just, and I just, Because I was like that
I like
too.
that.
I was like, don't give me a lift anywhere. I'm going to walk or I'm going to skateboard or I'm
Do
going
this
to
myself.
Yeah, I was really like, I'm going to do this
I like
myself. And so that's really how I was throughout my teenage years. And I'm still kind of like that too. Yeah. And so that was it. I didn't even know what kind of music I was going to do necessarily. I just knew what I liked and what I didn't like. And I ended up sort of forming a sort of prog band, like Dream Theater kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure that my life would have taken a very different path if I had just fallen into a ska band or something instead.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's correct. And so, and for you, you're like, what? How old are you when the Misfits over? It's 1983, and you're like
19.
19.
So then what are you thinking when that's over for that time?
I just went to work.
Yeah. That's it. You just work for then a couple years.
And then I put the guitar down, and actually Eddie Van Halen and Iron Maiden make me pick it back up.
Okay.
Because I started listening to that. My cousin came over and he says, he had a shirt on. I'm like, what's on your shirt? He goes, Van Halen. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And he goes, what? And he went out in his car. He got me Van Halen 1, brought it in and said, listen to this.
Wow.
When you get a chance. So I listened to it.
You told me that story recently.
And I listened to it and I was like, wow, I want to play. Just from listening to those guys rip that album up. And then I got into like Number of the Beast, that album. And I was like, wow, if I wrote songs, they would sound like that.
So you were kind of getting away from the punk sound.
Yeah, well, I always liked metal. I always liked riffs and, I mean, my guitar sound was never punk rock sound.
Yeah.
It was always more of a metal sound.
That's true, actually.
Yeah.
So then you started Christ the Conqueror. Was that 1987?
I don't know what year it was. We just did a project to learn how to write.
Okay.
I don't think it ever came out that I know of.
What, the Conqueror one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, we learned how to record and write and spend money in the studio.
And so when that happened with the Misfits being over, what was the reason why it ended? Do you know?
We fought over a drummer.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What, using a drummer or?
Yeah, well, we had booked a show and Glenn wouldn't play with Googie or Robo. So he got some guy and the guy came and then the guy got too drunk to play and I had to throw him off the stage after the first song, during the first song.
Wow.
Yeah. I actually grabbed him by his neck and threw him off of the stage.
At the show?
During the show, yeah.
You remember where that
during
show?
half of the song.
Where was that last show, you remember?
Michigan.
And that was it?
And then the drummer from the Necros came up and played this.
Oh, sick. I like the Necros.
Yeah, he came up and played the whole thing.
Holy shit. I bet anybody would be fucking psyched to play those songs.
Yeah.
So then that's it. So after that ends, is there like just back to normal life? Just back, you say, working?
Just went back to work.
I like that you guys are a very working class band. Like the whole time this has been happening.
Yeah,
everything.
we worked a lot. Yeah, one thing I did learn from my dad was I learned two things. I learned how to work hard and how not to treat a woman.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Those are two good things.
Yeah.
And he was supportive the whole time. The Echo didn't come back?
No.
Okay.
He thought we were idiots. He thought we were idiots.
Did he ever come see you play?
A couple times, but he thought that nobody knew who we were, and we were just pissing in the wind. And he had racehorses, and he went to the track with a Misfits hat on because he was bald. So we'd give him the merch because he was bald. And some kid came up to him and was like, "Wow, Misfits, cool." And he was like, "You know who they are?" He couldn't believe somebody knew who the fuck we were.
No, I got goosebumps.
Yeah.
Fucking kids. That's awesome.
So my mom was supportive.
Yeah.
She thought it was cool. And
They thought you guys were weird and stuff, or no?
my dad, oh yeah, he couldn't wrap his head around it. He thought the music sucked, everything sucked that we were
What
doing.
do you think he would want you to just be working his?
At the end,
business?
before he died, he was very supportive. He helped me with the Abominator album. He would let me get out of work to go mix it, and
He got it. This is what they.
he realized. I guess they're not stopping.
Yeah.
He would see me working on that album for like after work till 12 midnight. Because I did it at the shop.
Yeah.
And then get up for work the next day and do it every day for months.
Damn.
Yeah.
You have a studio at the shop too?
I did, yeah. And then
This place sounds amazing.
yeah,
to work out,
it's
do
really
music.
big. It's really big. And
And your dad, that was your dad's. He built that. That was.
yeah. Yeah, wow. And he was supportive at the end, and he was a gambler, so he gave me. I went to his house one day. He's like, "Hold this money for me." I'm like, "All right." So I held it, and I had to pay Nikki at the studio.
Right.
So I was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna give him this cash. I got to keep the lockout. I wanted the lockout. I didn't want to break the board down and lose the sound and have it sound different. I wanted it to sound the same.
Yeah.
So I had called him from the post office because every morning he would say, just go to get my mail, because he was getting old. He didn't want to go around. So I called him, I ain't got nothing here. He goes, hey, I want to invest in your project. I said, you already did. And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you remember that money you gave me? He goes, yeah. I said, I gave it to the guy at the studio. He goes, how much? I said, all of it. And he started laughing.
Oh, my
He said,
God.
all right.
That's amazing. So how old wasn't he when he passed?
74.
Wow.
Had cancer for 40 years. No, 34 years straight.
34 years. He had cancer.
And chemotherapy for 34 years.
What the? What kind of cancer?
Lymphatic?
Lymph nodes, that like lymph
Lymphoma.
node stuff?
Yeah, I think it's in your
Oh, my
neck.
God, man. That's crazy. Lived 34 years on that.
Yeah.
Those are hard years, I'm sure.
He was tough.
Wow. I never even heard that before, somebody living that long with cancer.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so your parents still here?
Yes.
Your mom's still here?
Thankfully.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. How old's your mom now?
79.
And your parents younger?
Yeah, they're younger. My mom is. Well, I'm not going to give away Lady's age.
Yeah.
But
29.
They're
Yeah.
She's about 20 years old. No, they're a lot younger than that.
Awesome.
But yeah, they're both.
Your parents been supportive from day one too, obviously.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So you have a good story about how you got into Arch Enemy.
Yeah.
Has that been told before? I'm sure.
Probably.
I think you might have told me like it was your friend. Your friend's like, hey, you should almost like handed it down to you in a sense, kind of.
Yeah. So I mean, the Arch Enemy.
Where were you in your life at that point?
So at that point, I was actually in South Korea. I was on tour with Camelot,
Okay.
and we were in South Korea, and so of course the time zones are crazy there.
I've never been there. I want to go there someday.
Yeah, in
ahead.
Seoul. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And actually, you should totally go. There's a good vegan scene there.
Okay.
Actually, yeah.
There's a good restaurant there. Let's go.
There's one good restaurant there. Let's
worth
go.
the trip, yeah.
16-hour
Yeah.
flight. Here we come.
Exactly.
But yeah, so it was. I was there, and it was. I think we had just flown there and landed, and I was totally jet lagged, and it was in the middle of an Asia tour, but
Yeah.
it was definitely the middle of the night there, and I don't know what time of the day it would have been in Germany at that point. But Angelo, who at the time was the singer in Arch Enemy and is now was also the manager of Arch Enemy and is still the manager of Arch Enemy. She just texted me. I was already friends with her, and so she just texted me like, "Hey, we need to talk to you." And she basically just told me like, "Hey, can you just call Michael? Here's his number." And my guitar player, Michael. And so I was just like, "Oh my God, is everything okay? Like,
Yeah.
are you okay?" Like I thought like somebody got injured or like
Yeah.
I didn't know why they were contacting me, but of course I just right away was like, "Hi, Michael, this is Alissa." Like, you know.
Yeah.
And pretty much right then and there, they were like, "Okay, do you want to be the singer in Arch Enemy?"
Holy
So I was
shit.
like, "What?"
How were things in your band at that moment?
So at that point, I was already doing a lot of touring with Camelot, and I had actually just right before that, like, subbed in singing for Nightwish for a second, like just for one show. Like I just was in this state where, you know, when you can kind of just feel like everything's vibrating around you and you
totally.
just feel like something's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like that. And so it sounds crazy, but when they contacted me, I was like, I kind of like knew it was going to happen. It's it's weird, right? But I was surprised, but I wasn't shocked actually.
Yeah.
So, which is so strange because there was nothing leading up to that, like nothing indicating that was going to happen in any way. I didn't even know.
Did you like that band?
I fucking love Arch Enemy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's actually why I was friends with Angela, because I
Okay.
was just like so into the band. And
Yeah.
then she actually, I never like went out of my way to contact them, but she had actually contacted me years and years before, like probably maybe 10 years early, maybe not 10, maybe like 8 years earlier, just to be like, "Hey, women in metal, we got to stick together.
awesome.
I see what you're doing and I really like your voice and I'm here for you if you ever need me," kind of
Yeah.
thing, which was really cool.
That's
because
really cool.
yeah. So she was like, you know, like a fairy godmother almost in a way. And, you know, and
Scary.
she was always there for me whenever it was, you know, if I was like facing a tough situation, which there are plenty of them, she would be like, "I've been through this. This is what I did." And, or, you know, just
Like
sort of.
Women's United.
Yeah, totally. And so she was a really great support system. And I guess in the end, I was able to kind of like pay her back for that by, you know, ensuring that she would still have a band to manage and she could still continue being
Pass
a
you
manager.
the torch and you take
Yeah,
that's awesome.
exactly. And so yeah, that's what happened. And so of course, as soon as they asked, I was like, yeah. But like, are you sure? Like, is for real, like permanently, or just for what? Like, maybe I thought like one tour or something.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know exactly what they meant, but they were already like decided pretty much. They were just like, yeah, we want you. Are you in? It wasn't even, yeah, there was no like audition tape or anything like that. It was just, come on over, let's write some songs.
So how soon did you tell the bandmates you were with?
So that,
I mean, how many more days? They have a couple weeks left on that tour. Like, what did you have to do? Like, keep it in like the whole time, not saying anything.
Well, so that's the thing. So of course this was the kind of thing where nobody even knew that Angela wasn't going to be in the band anymore because she still was at that point.
Yeah.
And I was on tour. Interestingly enough, like I said, I was on tour with this band Camelot.
Yeah.
And they had just gone through a singer switch. So, and like I said, also I had just sang for like a day with Nightwish because they also just went through a singer switch.
Jeez.
And so I was in this environment where like the bands that I was really close with all had new singers, and I was friends with those new singers. So I actually was like, well, I can't really talk about this, but these people just went through this.
Yeah.
And so, you know, being with Camelot, and with the new singer there, I was like, hey, what was that like? I want to, you know, I might be going through the same thing soon. Yeah, like I didn't really like tell anyone exactly what was going on, but I was like, I might be in the same situation soon.
Yeah.
Like, you know, what was the hard part? What was the easy part? And, you know, I asked Floor from Nightwish also. I FaceTimed with her, and she, you know, she's very smart. So she was like, I know exactly what band you're going into. And I was like, I can't confirm or deny anything, so don't even tell me. But yeah, so, you know, they pretty much guessed what was going on. But but it was cool because I had these friends that could totally relate to what I was going through. Yeah. And it just happened to be the people that I had just been on. It was a Camelot and Nightwish tour. So like it was crazy. So it was, I had like a really good support system there actually.
So I know it's hard being a woman in music period, let alone being in like in the metal world that you're in. Was that really difficult for you first started playing? Yeah, you know, And when did you know you had a voice like that could sound like that? That was because if you look at you and somebody saw you in the street, they were like, no. I know. Even Jamie Josta just looks like a normal dude, and his voice, it's just, for you, it's I just, when did you realize you sang like that? Were you singing differently before, and then you started changing up to that style? Kind of, yeah. Yeah, because at first I was singing just in a normal, clean voice. Yeah. But then actually, honestly, I think it's because I had such shitty gear that I had to sing really loud to be able to hear myself. No monitors in rehearsal or something? I was singing through a bass cab, you know, like so I couldn't hear myself, so I had to sing really loud. Sing super hard, that helped me develop a lot of power and this sort of like power metal voice. And then for the death metal voice, that I was just like, I'm just gonna try it, you know, and just see if it works. And so I just went to band practice in my first band, and I was like, let's just try this. And I just started doing it, and you know, we finished one song, and they were like, you can do that? And I was like, you're a girl? It's crazy. Yeah. And I was like, I guess. You know, and so then I just continued. When I would write songs, I would just write with both kind of, not even both, like all different kinds of vocals, like some whispers, some operatic stuff, some power metal stuff, death stuff, black metal screaming. But like, you never did anything, like went to school for, like didn't study music? No, it was all experience. Everything that I have is just... Me too. Yeah. You can't teach somebody how to sing. No, you either can sing or you can't. Yeah. You can teach... Singing lessons become a singer is strange to me. It's impossible. You can learn techniques, but you can't learn how to sing. You got to get out there and do it. It's all in your ear, too. You got to have good ears. True. Yeah. You guys have good ears? Those who can't sing shouldn't. I have bad ears, actually. I have like a... But you could hear keys and notes. Adam has that too. What's it called? The thing you ring in your ear? Tinnitus? Yeah, he has it. I have that too. I don't have that. You know what? I have good hearing, but my ears like physically are weird. I have something called surfer's ear. Oh, I heard about that. Yeah. Maybe. Your ear surfs? Does it feel like an ocean in there or some shit? No, what is it? Not exactly. It's called surfer's ear because it's usually it usually happens when you're exposed to really cold weather, so cold wind or cold water. Where you live at. Where I live, considering it's a polar vortex, I think that kind of explains it, you know? Sure. But actually, I also surf, but like only once a year. So I don't think it's really from surfing because I only have time to surf like once a year. It's a 6-hour drive to the nearest coast for me. But yeah, so that basically means that the bones in my ear are like overgrown. The bones are shaped weird. And so my ears always pop. I have that problem in my skull.
But yeah, you know, like when you're in an airplane and your ears pop.
Yeah.
That happens to me like almost every time I inhale or exhale. It's freaking
That sucks.
annoying.
That would freak me
Super
out.
annoying. Yeah.
I hate flying as it is.
Yeah.
2 questions. If you want, what did your sister think when she heard your voice, or your parents thought when they started hearing you sing like that? Their sister and their daughter, like she's singing like that.
The funny thing is, my mom says that my death metal voice sounds more like me than my pretty voice. She's like, yeah, that's you, not the other one. And
they must have been like, holy shit.
They like it. And my sister, she, she actually wrote for some music journals in Canada. And so she's like into all sorts of music. Even though she doesn't play metal, she knows all sorts of metal bands and like Walls of Jericho and stuff like that.
She knows everybody.
Yeah, she knows everyone. She's really involved in music. So she had already been exposed to girls like ripping vocals like that. So she was... Yeah, I don't think she was super surprised either, actually.
You think there's some dudes in metal bands that are threatened by you?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a lot of, just in general, there's a lot of people who are like insecure in their own jobs. And so if somebody else comes along, they feel threatened. And it's not only in music. I mean, I've had plenty of jobs that I was working just to be able to pay for tours and stuff. Yeah. And even in those jobs, I've come across situations where other employees were very obviously threatened by me, by the amount that I worked or how effectively I got things. Yeah. And so that's something that's really normal. I used to think like, no, there's no difference between being a girl or a guy in metal. It's all perfect. Like, you know, I was so determined to be a dude basically that I was like, everything's normal, everything's fine. But really when I take a good hard look at it, there's like a lot of sexism in metal and there's a lot of sexism in the music industry in general.
Yeah,
in the world.
In the world. Yeah. And there's a lot of shit.
But you feel it? Have you felt that vibe? And
yeah, totally. We put up with a lot of shit. And that's, I think, why it's really cool that basically everyone I know who is a female in music, we all support one another. And every time Doyle makes fun of me because every time I get together or like anytime there's like an event, like a red carpet event or whatever, where there's other girls from bands, I just like run over to them and we're like playing. It's like
they play.
Like we go out and play, like, you know, and it's just, I get so happy and it just.
Because you don't get to hang out, yeah.
That's it. I never
we
get to see.
We don't think about that shit because we're dudes.
They're playing. They're all doing like Vogue poses and laughing and jumping around.
I'm
and
we're like
look at you,
you're
fucking
playing.
playing.
And it's just like, it's fun because.
High school reunion, yeah.
Yeah, because I never get to see girls and so when I do, it's just, it's so exciting.
It's so cute, man.
That's awesome. Honestly. We don't think about that as men too, like having to deal with sexism and shit like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially in punk rock or any kind of music.
Yeah.
Did you feel pressure filling those shoes in Arch Enemy when you first joined?
Actually,
out of
no.
respect for the original singer or the band you loved?
You know what? I didn't. I mean, I felt pressure, but I wasn't scared because I'm confident in my abilities. I know what I can do.
Yeah.
And it was the original singer or like the singer who was in place is the one who chose me. You know, she chose me. So
she knew you could do it. That's
it. So it's not like there was like, you know,
wasn't trying out for anything. And all
that's it.
Yeah.
Like she wanted me to kill it just as much as I wanted to kill it.
Yeah.
So I felt, you know, pressure obviously to be respectful of the songs, the way they were recorded, the way they're normally performed.
Yeah.
And I made sure to like do that as much as I could, really give the songs the right performance for what they were written to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a difference between feeling pressure or feeling like scared. And I wasn't
scared.
You
were invited into this position.
Yeah, I was like up for the challenge.
You were the chosen one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you were. So Doyle, for you, like when the Misfits were open, you're working, you're playing music, listening to Van Halen, you're doing different riffs.
Right.
Like, when did you realize, okay, so the Misfits aren't going to play anymore. We're going to go get Michael Graves. We're going to go pick somebody and do the Misfits and do a new record.
We did ads like in the East Coast Rock.
Tryouts, right?
Yeah, we did tryouts.
I remember this.
Yeah, we did a bunch of tryouts, and everybody sucked.
Okay.
I didn't even want Michael. I thought he sucked, honestly.
And where did this guy come from? Because he was awesome.
He was in Dumont. He was a couple towns away. You know, he wasn't. To me, he just wasn't good enough. You know,
it's hard to like replace a singer though.
And it's hard to make that decision. Like, okay, we're gonna use this guy because that's the singer. Yeah. It's not a bass player. It's not a drummer.
It's hard.
You know, so yeah.
So who when did you realize it was him? Like,
because we couldn't get anybody else, and we were like, "Fuck it, let's just do it." And we did it.
Did he blow you guys away in rehearsal?
He ain't never blown me away.
I mean, I thought he was awesome. I mean, we got to that tour with you, and it was awesome.
He was a great performer. You know, he's a good singer, but you know, I'm not knocking the guy, but I didn't think he was good enough, and he knows that.
But you were stoked to play again, play those songs and write a new record and all that. That was a good time.
Yeah, it was fun.
But yeah, he was. I wonder what he's doing now.
He's doing Graves, Michael
Okay.
Graves, I guess. Michael.
We were
Graves.
psyched because we got offered the Misfits tour. We were like, holy shit, we're doing this tour. And then when we saw him perform and just close your eyes, like I thought he was great. I mean, I don't know anybody else you saw before him, but I thought he did a great job.
Yeah,
The record was great too.
It was a good show, yeah.
So did that get you excited to play again? And did you ever feel like the Misfits were going to play again with Glenn ever? During
Yes. I always thought that would happen later on, and I was on tour with her and I went and had a lunch with Glenn, remember? You were here.
What?
Playing the House of Blues with Creator, and I left to go have lunch with him.
2015 or 2014
Yeah.
or something.
2014, okay.
Yeah, talked to him about it then.
Had
And
this happened a bunch leading up? Did you guys ever discuss this, or you kind of just did your own thing?
I discussed it with them individually because they weren't
Over
talking.
the years?
Yeah.
I feel like you're the glue that brought everybody together for sure.
I'm the glue, and then they left me in the street.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
But you were the one trying to unite everybody, make it happen
Yeah.
Oh, you've been talking about this forever.
for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you had that conversation in 2014, is that when you realized it could actually happen soon?
Yeah, because we had a meeting back in like 2004, I'm going to say, 2002, maybe. And me and Jerry flew out here, had a meeting with him, and we talked about doing it. And I said I was in, and we were going to do it. And Glenn didn't want anybody to say anything, in social media. And next day, where was it? Social media. So who the fuck said it? I didn't say it. I don't have a computer still.
Damn, there was a leak?
There was a leak. There was a mole.
A mole.
Well, how many people at the meeting?
3, 4. It was just 3. It was 3 of
Yeah,
us.
that's crazy.
And no, I think Calf was there too. It was probably him.
I wonder who leaked it.
Yeah. And so yeah,
So that kind of ruined everything for a second?
until 10 years.
Oh, shit.
10 years later.
Oh,
Well,
that's
no,
right. No,
12
that's
years. 12 years
12
later.
years, that's right. God, it seems like yesterday, though.
I know.
So
Yeah.
that was it. Just we're not talking about it anymore. That's it. Somebody leaked it. It's over.
Yeah, it didn't happen. And then
'Cause I'm sure you got offers a million times. I'm sure offers came to you guys so many times.
I don't know.
I gotta say that logo is probably one of the most bootleg logos in the history of punk rock.
Yeah.
That and the Ramones probably.
Maybe even the history of just pop culture.
Yeah,
in
pop
general.
culture, like-
Yeah.
Hip hop, streetwear, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna fast forward to the first. Well, actually, I'm gonna rewind a little bit too. So obviously, you're a dad.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've been married. You have kids. Did that change anything for you as a musician? Did you feel like I'm just gonna quit and stay here and work in the shop? I'm not gonna go on tour, or did it make you want to like be hungrier and work harder for them, or did that change anything?
No.
The end. What about you?
Yeah, it made me want to hustle more for sure. Yeah. But it's hard. It's obviously hard leaving because I had my wife with me for 10 years, and then when Max was born, they both weren't coming on tour. Then I'm by myself on tour now,
Right.
so it was easier just to go with Moon. But now I have 2 people at home, so that's super hard. But like I said before, my wife said that's why our relationship lasts so long because I was leaving, coming and going. You know what I mean?
But she understands what you're doing, so it's not an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we have no problem.
Yeah,
we both
that-
know exactly what the
That's
hell's
I'm
going on.
saying. I don't understand the girls who they go after a dude in the band, and then they get him,
And they want
and
him
then
to
he
stay
goes
home.
on tour. And they want him to change.
Yeah, yeah.
They
that
want him not
doesn't
to
make
tour
sense.
anymore. It's like,
Yeah.
yo, he's the fucking musician. You chased
Yeah.
after this motherfucker.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
want him
yeah.
to change.
Yeah.
That sucks,
They don't.
man.
They don't
I
get
hate
it. They can't wrap their head around it. They're like, why aren't you home?
In a way,
What are you
actually,
talking about?
in a
what
way,
I do.
In a way, I think one benefit of being a woman in metal, I have to say, is that there's so few of us that we're more likely to meet someone who gets it
Yeah.
than a dude, because if most people meet their significant other at school or work or something, and
Yeah.
so touring is working. So the
Yeah.
chances of me meeting someone on tour, which is exactly what happened, were pretty high.
Yeah.
And that means that it's a touring musician or a crew or somebody that I meet that I end up dating, and and obviously they get it because they do it. But for dudes in metal, the chances of meeting a girl who's also working, it's
So
not
hard,
it's not
man.
that high,
Yeah, it's true.
So you think
So-
that would maybe affected original relationships because of your lifestyle and touring.
Oh,
and,
sure. They hated that shit.
but they also knew you're a musician beforehand.
They didn't mind spending any money I brought home, but
It's just so crazy to me that people. I love you, but I'm going to change you.
yeah.
It's crazy.
I never understood
Well, it's
that.
also crazy because it's like, why would you want your significant other to first of all not work, and second of all not pursue their passion? That
Yeah,
doesn't
you
make
want
any
them to be
sense.
happy. You don't want to take it
Yeah,
away from them.
yeah.
So let's forget about all the passion. Let's fast forward to you guys meeting. It was 2014, I think.
2013.
2013. You guys met on tour.
Yeah.
It's a great story. I'm sure you told it before.
Yeah.
But you pretty much. You tell this. You tell it, please.
You didn't want to
Because-
use the word stock? Or
I don't use the word stock, but I love you guys' relationship. I love you guys are both artists. I love you guys. You both tour and you guys are
Yeah.
together and you live in different fucking countries and it
Yeah.
works. You make it work because when something's real, you make it work no matter what.
yeah.
So that's what I love. I love
Yeah.
that.
That's
So
it.
tell me how you stalked him, please.
Okay, well, I stalked
Loves
him.
this story.
No, I mean, it's like, that gut feeling like when you just get a good vibe off of someone.
Yeah.
I just got a good vibe off of him, and so
Not anymore.
He's got good
boy
vibes.
was I wrong. No.
He's got good vibes.
Yeah, I like mature, calm, relaxed, confident people, and
I am quite relaxed.
And he's quite mature.
yeah.
Well,
You like older men.
Well, I don't know if I would say,
Is it a preference or just happen to be that way?
I didn't know his age actually when I
He looks pretty good.
well, that's the thing. When I was initially deciding to stalk him, I didn't know how old he was. I knew nothing about him. I didn't even know who he was. Actually, when I met him,
You saw him without makeup too.
that's it. When we initially met, it was the first day of the tour. I was just going and meeting everybody, a bunch of crew people, local people. Like I don't know who was who.
I'm looking at my notes. Guys.
Yeah, I had no idea who he was. I met Glenn and knew who that was, but but I didn't know who Doyle was. And when I met him, it was during the day. He didn't have his stage makeup on. And at that point I was selling the merch. And so the venues that we were playing at that point always had the merch stands outside of the venue. So I would finish my set, get the hell off stage in a hurry, get to the merch stand, and then I was stuck selling the merch
I
all
love that
night.
you did that too, by the
Yeah.
way.
because that's
Oh,
your
yeah.
bread and butter.
Yeah, exactly.
I used to always do that too. Go
Right.
We say, hey, we'll be at the merch, and the kids come.
Yeah, because
they buy
they
shit from you. It's
exactly.
fucking
You have
awesome.
to. And
I love
so
that.
that's
Paid
how
your dues, girl.
Yeah, man. And so
Well,
that's how
she
we
sure
always
did.
that's how we always ran it. And so for the first few shows of that tour, I actually didn't even see Doyle playing. I
Yeah.
did because I couldn't see the stage anymore. I was outside of the door selling the
Yeah.
merch. And so it took a few shows, and then eventually we played a venue where the merch stand was inside the venue and I could see the stage. So I'm selling the merch, whatever, and then I hear chunk, 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 and I see
Yeah.
the Crimson Ghost backdrop appear, the first backdrop, the kabuki drops, and the Misfits skull is there all big, and then I see Doyle walk out in
Punk rock superhero.
yeah
Clown
and,
suit.
and so then I was like, who the fuck is that? Because at this point I still didn't even put two and two
You
together.
only met Clark Kent.
Yeah, exactly. I only met Clark Kent, so I didn't see Superman yet. So I was like, who
Yeah.
the fuck is that? And so then there's like some obvious features
You cannot miss.
that you can't miss when
Yeah.
you see him on stage. I'm talking about his eyes. And
No, she's not. I'm right here. Go ahead. You go.
and so I was like, okay, well, I guess that guy's on tour with us. And I mean, I'm not an idiot, but I guess I was at that point. I guess I was really tired because it took a while before I was like, that's the guy. That's the guy I met. Because I just didn't, I didn't even know why it was called Danzig and Doyle. Like I didn't realize they meant Doyle Wolfgang. Like I thought
Yeah.
Doyle
Were
was
you a
like,
Misfits fan?
no. So I
That's
didn't.
even better. That's
She's
fucking even better.
still not.
I love this even more though.
Yeah.
I fucking love this
Yeah.
even more. Go ahead.
And so I saw him, and then I realized like that's got to be that guy that I met. So I guess he's Doyle. Okay, got it. And so then the tour continued, and during the day I work out anyways during the day, and so does he. And so we would cross paths a bit. I think him going to work out, or me. At one point I remember I was doing crunches on. it was in what's that place in New Mexico there?
I don't
The
know.
Sunshine Theater, something like that.
that.
And I was doing crunches on the floor in the damp basement.
It was
you know.
filthy. I was
Yeah,
like, what are you doing?
Yeah, and he walks by and he's like, "You doing crunches on the dirty floor?" And I'm like, "No, I have a towel on the floor, whatever."
Did you know she was sweating you?
I have no game, so I didn't notice until
That's
everybody
pretty cool, man.
everybody started telling me, and I'm like, what?
You're like,
Really?
"Oh,
They were
nice,
like,
nice,
yeah,
nice."
yeah. I'm like,
And so but I have no game either, So I just like put myself in his way for the rest of the tour, you know?
Yeah.
Because at that point I knew How the Gods Kill
Right.
was the last song before the Misfits.
Studied
Yeah.
that shit.
And so, yeah. And so,
Nobody's
I
gonna exit the
bribed
stage.
the text to, no.
But you knew when he was coming off stage.
But I knew when he was going to be going on stage and coming off stage. So I always made sure that I could just be like accidentally near his guitar world at that point.
Love that shit, man.
And
That's when I started noticing it because it kept happening.
yeah.
He's popping up.
And I was
then
like
one day I
so
was like-
broke. I was so broke, but I like, I went and bought like a little dress. So that I could,
Serious?
I went and bought a little dress. It was
That's
like
so
$8
cute.
or
That's so
whatever, you know,
awesome,
like it was
man.
like a thrift store
Listen
thing.
to this shit,
Yeah,
man.
I went and bought a little dress so I could be cute, and I bought like some good smelling perfume, and I called my friend at home, and I was like, what do I do to be attractive to a dude? And she's like, you know, and she was just like, okay, so dudes think with their stomachs. So what you have to do is get perfume that smells like food. I'm talking cinnamon, vanilla, fruit. You know, and she was just like going off, and I was like, okay. And so then I got this coconut smelling perfume because it was the only vegan perfume I could find, you know? And so I was like, okay, this one's coconut. And sure enough, that day with that little dress and the perfume, I see him and he walks over and he goes, ooh, you smell like the beach. In my head, I was like, check, it worked. Totally
Holy
worth it.
shit.
Yeah.
And then I said,
Got him.
I like your dress.
Yeah, and then he goes, I like your dress. So
Are you
I was
serious?
like, I was so proud of
Was he
myself.
all black before that, probably?
I was just like in sweatpants
Yeah,
and whatever,
yeah.
you know, just looking shitty. And
Dude, it really worked.
yeah,
It
it
worked.
fucking worked. So anyone listening, don't fucking try that shit on Doyle. Try it on anyone else, but not on Doyle. but
That's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, and so then I just, you know, like,
So do you remember your first, like, actually, like, date or hang out? Was it on that tour? Or?
you know, that tour was so short, and so I was trying to like, I tried to put myself in his way, and eventually he caught on, and we would like kind of hang out a little bit. I remember another time too, like, you know, also because all the texts and stuff call him Loyal Doyle, and so I was looking to see, like, you know, I tried to see if there was a ring on his hand because I didn't know how old he was, and at that
Yeah.
point I was only like 27, and so
I
I
was
wasn't.
29.
Yeah, and so I wasn't really looking for rings because in my head, like, I'm in my late 20s, not everyone's married yet anyways,
Yeah.
so I wasn't really looking for it, but I knew he was probably a little bit older than me. I thought he was maybe in his late 30s or so. I didn't know how old he was.
It was good.
Yeah, and so I remember at one of the venues, like on the side of the stage before he went on, he was like stretching and getting his guitar on, and I was like trying to look at his hands to see if there was a ring.
Yeah.
And there was no ring because it was tattooed on.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
Rings, yeah.
That's it. And so like I couldn't see the rings. I couldn't see the tattoo because it was dark. So I was like, okay, good, there's no ring. But then the next day in the daylight, I did see the tattoo, and because his ex-wife at the time was named Gorgeous George. And so it said George on his finger. So then I was like, fuck, he's gay. I don't stand a chance. You know, I was like, he's married to some guy named George. Oh, shit. You know, so I was like, oh, damn it, there's all these obstacles in the way. So, but, you know, so
That's a pretty big hurdle.
that was,
What if
yeah.
Misfits is gay?
You know, so I just didn't know. I thought like, okay, well, whatever. I'll just hang out and I'll see if he reciprocates. And he wasn't because he didn't get it at first. But then,
I still don't get it.
but you know, eventually he it was the dress. Admit it.
It was the dress. It was
dress.
to
When
die
you
for.
realize that, like, I like this girl and, like...
I liked her as soon as I met her. As soon as I seen her, I liked her. But
Yeah, even I didn't know who he was.
I don't have no game. I don't fucking.
I just got a good vibe as soon as I met him. Even with your condescending sandwich face.
I don't even know what that means.
Because at one point, I don't even know if this is like something I made up and just believe now, or if this is an actual memory. But I remember that first day when we met on that loading dock, I had to like call the phone company because it was a tour of the States and my phone would be
Of
roaming
course,
there, and
I
so I
hate
had
that.
to like call the cell phone thing to try to get a phone for the tour. And I just remember him sitting on the dock, eating something and giving me a dirty look. But I don't know if it actually happened, you know. But in my head, he was sitting there. So I tell him he has a condescending sandwich face, but I don't think it's true.
So has things changed for you now that you're both together and both touring musicians and you're both taken respect-wise as a woman in music? People are, Dora's your man, or don't disrespect that girl.
You know, I feel like I earned a lot of respect myself,
sure.
actually.
For sure.
You know, like I worked hard
Yeah.
at making sure that people knew.
But people know you're taking now too, so it's even more like this back.
Probably, yeah.
Stay with
And
me,
and
man.
and same like even in that first tour, I remember at one point going on the side of the stage to watch his part of the set, and there's like a bunch of girls that got invited to the sides of the stages, and you know they were doing their thing, and I intentionally walked to a different area because I just didn't want to be lumped into that.
Yeah.
With all due respect, I just didn't want to be lumped
Yeah.
into that category, you know. And
the fans on the side singing along.
oh, it's just, you know, like maybe more than fans, you know,
Yeah.
like just, you know, like it was
trying
just,
to be, yeah.
yeah. And, you know, and then he comes out getting ready for his thing and all the girls' heads just turn and follow him. And I was just like in the back because I had stepped away. And so I was like, I'm just going to watch and see how he reacts to this.
I love
and,
that.
Yeah. And they all were like, you know, whispering to each other and pointing at him. And then, you know, I could see them straightening their mini skirts and pumping up their
And
boobs.
he's so
and
oblivious to all that shit,
yeah.
too.
And getting ready to go walk over to him. And then they did. And he just like straight ignored them and like walked straight past them. And I was just like, I kind of love that. You know, it was so.
I love that you're like, I love that.
Yeah. And so I just got a good vibe. And I think, I mean, honestly, like I would say 99% of everyone we meet is super fucking cool.
Yeah.
And most people we meet are friends in common anyways.
They're mutual friends.
Yeah.
Were you in a long relationship before that?
I don't think I wasn't. You were married,
Yeah,
but
how
I
many years
wasn't.
you married for?
I don't know.
More than
You were
5?
married for like 10 years.
More than
before that.
5, yeah, I'm sure.
And you lived out here too for a minute.
For a minute, yeah. I lived out here. I lived in Vegas. I lived in Chicago. Where else?
And
That's it.
both your kids are East Coast still?
Yeah, all 3 kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you guys balance everything with that, and you go to Canada and Jersey, and you're both on tour.
Yeah.
That's a serious commitment. I love that.
Yeah.
That means a lot. That says a lot about
That's
your
not hard.
relationship.
That's
Yeah.
not hard.
It just makes sense. I feel like we're just a good match partner wise, you know. Even when I realized he was like quite a bit older than me, I was
Yeah.
like,
When did you realize that?
I think I only realized
this morning.
what? No, you know, I think I just
We got the
realized
discount
that.
at House of Pancakes.
Yeah, exactly. No, I didn't really care.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't really matter.
Yeah, didn't you ask your mom? Is that fucked up? And she was like, do you like him?
No, I didn't ask my
You
mom.
didn't ask her?
No.
Somebody said something.
I feel like
Yeah.
Doyle's like a very mysterious. If you don't know him, he's a very mysterious person to people who
Yeah.
look up to the Misfits and the band and the music that he does. Because you never really see him without his makeup.
Yeah.
He's superhero like. He's a very like. You like a punk rock superhero to a lot of people, and so people don't really know like just Doyle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just like,
Yeah. And that's why it's kind of cool that I met him as himself
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
You know.
So what was that? Okay, so you're really a Misfits fan. When did you become a fan of the Misfits? When you started seeing them play again?
You know, people would ask because he just loads me up with merch,
Yeah.
right? So then I by default, I'm wearing Misfits gear most of the time, just because that's like the free shit that's clean in the laundry.
At least some songs.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
now I mean, you know, I know the songs and everything now, but
So what was it like seeing him perform with the Misfits for the first time?
it was great. I mean, people would ask me, "Oh, you're a big," you know, even on planes or the airport, or whatever.
Yeah.
"Oh, you're a Misfits fan," and I'm like, "I like one Misfit." You know, that's what I would say. I was like,
Misfit man.
I like one of them.
That's awesome.
But no, I mean, I do like the music. I like the band, but that had no influence on me getting together with Doyle because
Yeah.
I didn't actually know him from that.
I love
so,
that. I love
yeah.
that so much.
Yeah.
It's great when people don't really know about that stuff. But seeing him perform Misfits was awesome, I'm sure, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, both he and I are similar in the way that we just like perform really aggressively. And it's like our whole day, our whole life is revolving around being able to perform at 1000%.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate anyone who does that. So
Yeah.
seeing him do that is it's really exciting. And I mean, and all the dudes in the Misfits are fucking great. You know, it's just a
Yeah.
great show, great music.
Yeah.
It's good energy. It's fun.
Yeah.
And the songs are great. So getting to see him perform in that environment
Where he comes
it's
from and
nice to
stuff, yeah.
see. Yeah.
And how did it feel for you, like that first show back?
Oh, it was the worst show of my life. The
I
first
think
one.
I talked to you. I think you texted me. We talked that
Yeah.
day or some day after.
Yeah.
Was the sound off or something? Or?
My amp was fucked up. There was a short in it or something, and I had no like overdrive.
Okay.
You know, and I noticed it right before we
But
went
you're always
on.
your worst critic too.
I was like, "What the fuck is going on with this amp?" And it wasn't working. And now it makes your hands and arms cramp up because you're trying to make the sound come out properly, but you really can't. But your body tries to make it come out,
Yeah. Like, you know how you blow your voice out if you can't hear
Yeah, it's the
yourself?
worst.
Yeah.
and you cramp up. And then it was the worst. And it was like maybe 4 songs left in the set, and I went over and I fucking just smashed the amp, and the motherfucker came on.
Oh man.
And I was like, motherfucker. But then I just played Denver recently, And my arms cramped up like that too. And we were gassed after 3 songs. We all looked at each other like, what the fuck? I'm so tired.
Really?
Then I realized that
Elevation.
there's not enough oxygen. That's why I
right.
cramped up like that too.
Yeah.
Now I
Yeah.
fucking know.
Elevations are in Utah too.
Yeah.
But
Mexico
yeah, that was
City,
one of the
too.
worst shows of my life. And she could see it. And she came on the stage after getting kicked off the stage.
Yeah, I could,
What?
because I was watching from the audience, and my mom was there, and my sister was
cool.
there. We all flew down to see the show, and I could see that something was off, and I had to like fight to get to the stage. Like I had to fight my way out of the crowd. I had to fight to get to the side of the stage, and then I snuck up the side of the stage, and then they tried to kick me off the side of the stage, and Richie came and was like, "Hey, that's Alissa," and then I had to fight to get over to your side, and I was like. You know, I think
so
I was
annoying,
like, let
man.
me just stand in his line of sight. Let me just stand in his line of sight so he can calm down. And I'm just there if he needs a hug or something. And so I just stood there, you know, just to be there for him in case he needed.
And I did. I needed a hug, and it worked.
Yeah.
I just went over and hugged her. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Did you like the way you sounded on the other shows though? Was just
The other shows were better. You know, I got the problem fixed, and yeah.
Do you feel like you're your worst critic anyway though? Like
No, I don't really care. I just want to be able to hear myself. If I could hear myself, you know, I have a good show. If I can't, it's hard. But you know, sometimes you have to listen to front of the house, like at a festival.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're listening to it and it sounds like you're down the hall listening to it. It's hard.
It's really hard.
Are you good with like staying in the right mindset with that? It's hard,
It's
right?
hard, man. Especially in the monitors.
Yeah.
Or like,
Do you use
I
in-ears?
don't.
I use them for the.
I use them. Yeah.
I only use them for the Misfits because the stage is so big. As loud as my amps are, super loud. As soon as I walk to the drums, they're gone.
Well, yeah, because it's directional. The amps are
Yeah,
directional.
it's so directional, and then it's gone. Now, if I can't hear myself, I start playing everything wrong.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
That's crazy.
Even though you know where to go, but you can't hear it, so it just fucks you up.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
It's a mind fuck.
Well, besides that, the technical stuff, how did it feel like to be on stage again playing those songs with that many people? Like you never played a venue that big and headlined and.
Well, I played
How was yours?
the big festivals, you know.
Wait, this is
but
your show.
Yeah, that was the coolest. The coolest thing about the whole thing is the first headlining arena show I've ever done in my life sold out in 30 seconds.
It's crazy. Was that the Forum one?
Yeah,
That was a great show. Yeah, it was just.
it was insane.
So that must have felt great.
The coolest part about that was the lighters at the end. It was like a real
Yeah.
concert. It was like a real concert. There was no cameras, so everybody was watching.
No phones, which is incredible.
Yeah, it
I
was
love
great.
that.
Dude, so when you went to see the Misfits at the shows, they would take your phones and put them in a bag and you'd lock them for the whole show.
Yeah.
You live in the moment.
Yeah.
I thought that was fucking incredible.
Well,
I love it.
It's,
I love
it's
that.
genius for a couple reasons, and one of them is if everybody's filming it and they put it online, who's going to come to the show now? Everybody's going to sit in their underwear in their bed and watch. Say, I seen it.
100%.
Yeah.
You know, and people who complain, you know, the fuck are they complaining about?
Yeah, I mean,
Come here to see
anyone.
the band.
Yeah, and I love the fact that it forces you to live in the moment, like you said. And, you know, most people that are at a concert are old enough to know that, like, you can make plans with the people you're trying to meet up with or whatever and just, like, figure it out ahead of time.
Totally.
And then your phone will be locked away and you'll just find them there. You're like we used to do, you know?
You
Yeah.
have to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's not like a crazy dictatorship. Like if you need your phone, you can step outside, they'll unlock it for you and you
Yeah.
can use it there.
Yeah.
It's just when you go into the actual concert hall, then it's locked away.
It's
I love
great.
that. I love seeing people having fun, singing along.
Yeah.
There's no phones in the sky.
Yeah. It was
Super
cool. It was
smart.
really cool to just be there and have I was watching from the soundboard and I was just like looking around and people were like dancing and like
Yeah.
looking at other people they didn't know and putting their arm around them and just singing the words and like really
In
into
the moment.
it.
Like,
Yeah.
Nah, where's my phone? Where's
Yeah, not taking selfies so they can like show off that they're there. They were actually enjoying being there.
my- Yeah.
The best thing about the Misfits shows is how happy the faces are on those people
Yeah.
when
100%.
when you come out there and you see them. They're not just going off. They're all smiling. They're all like, I can't believe I'm looking at this.
100%.
You
It
know,
was crazy.
It's
man.
great.
That's the best part.
I love that. And
Yeah.
I love that. I was gonna say about the phones not being there. Something else about the show that I loved. Just being in the moment. Take your phones. I went blank for a second about the crowd. Oh, and the merchandise there too. The merch was insane too at that show.
I wouldn't know.
Okay, well, Stella, quiet. Just everybody being happy. And like, no, it was great. That's what I want to say. When I went backstage that day, I think it was Stella, quiet. We're doing a podcast. When I went
wants to say her
backstage that day, it was like every band. You remember that? And the downstairs of the green room was like
yeah.
Pennywise, Limp Bizkit, Strung Out, like Foo Fighters. every single band was downstairs. Julian Lewis, like all the homies. Everybody's hanging out in this one room waiting to see you guys play.
Yeah.
And then when I'm walking up to the seats, nobody's in VIP. Nobody's on the side of the stage. Everybody's sitting in the crowd like fans. That was fucking amazing. Just seeing like major rock stars just sitting there like psyched, like sitting in their seats like little kids.
Yeah.
That was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And how psyched people were backstage. It was like, holy shit. And there was so much respect from such diverse groups and genres of music to come support the Misfits at the Forum.
Yeah.
It's like fucking history. It's the biggest punk show ever.
Yeah.
So to see that energy and then walking past all these people, they're like holy shit. They're in the crowd. Like, they're not, nobody was like entitled. Nobody's like, I'm fucking this person. I need to get backstage.
Yeah.
Everybody was chilling. And then, okay, they're going on. We all walk out together. Like little kids, like, go and find your seat.
Yeah.
That was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It was really
Totally.
cool, man. That's something so special. I'm happy I get to be a part of.
Yeah.
And I thank you for that. It was fucking...
Anytime.
That was amazing. I hope it happens again. I feel like the kids...
The one in Jersey also was pretty emotional because that's
I
basically like I was at that one. It was like a hometown show.
Jimmy Gestapo played.
I know. I saw that Murphy's Law played.
Yeah.
Fucking, she went to that one too, obviously.
Yeah, and it was cool. You know, like Doyle's kids were there, and your mom was there.
Mom went.
And I mean, I don't know if I can say this or not, but I was blown away because Glenn, can I say?
Yeah, sure.
His mom passed away that fucking day.
Yeah.
And he got on stage and did the show.
No way, man.
And I just had so much fucking respect for him because how difficult is that? His mom, he lost his mom that fucking day.
You could easily be like, yo, not playing.
Exactly.
You guys like, cool, respect.
But you know, he went up there and fucking delivered. He sounded great.
Wow.
He didn't wimp out. He did the show 1,000%. And it was just like, man, that's fucking punk rock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
It was like,
yeah, wow.
and it was just amazing to see too. It was almost like she was hanging on just until it was like, okay, now we played the biggest venue in the hometown and here it is, you know?
That's
and
beautiful, man.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's amazing he did that too.
Yeah.
Because it could have been a totally different thing.
Yeah.
Wow. I bet the energy must have been.
I was almost crying watching him out there.
It was heavy.
Yeah.
It was pretty heavy.
So did you guys rehearse a bunch for those shows?
Not well, for the first show we did because nobody knew the songs.
It's been a while, yeah.
You know.
I think you knew the songs.
I don't want to mention any names.
I think I'm gonna go on record. I don't even know this. I'm gonna say Doyle knew the songs.
Yeah. Any questions that I was asked, and I'm like, I'm not even in this fucking band. Why are you asking me?
Yeah.
But I knew everything. But yeah.
Wow.
But for the later ones, it's I don't know, maybe once or twice. I think I don't know.
So I remember Moon wanted me to ask this to you too. She texted me earlier about this. When we get into the veganism now, but when we first met you, you weren't a vegan.
Yes.
And we were vegans, and Moon wants me to ask you, like, did you think we were weirdos because we were vegans on that tour with you? You were making your shakes, eating all your shit. It was so different.
Yeah, you're the first vegan I ever met. Seriously, and you told me about it. I guess it was 1996 in Europe. You were telling me about it out in the parking lot of some
Did you
festival.
think that was so like fucking foreign?
No, I was trying to understand it. You thought, oh, I'm vegan. I'm like, what's that? You're like, well, it's like vegetarian, but you know, no animal products. It's not. Then you wanted to find bologna, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're a vegan, but you want to eat bologna. I don't get it.
Yeah,
I should have listened.
It's fucking crazy. It's so crazy on that tour, man. You pounding those shakes and all that shit. So was it her? Who inspired you to make it?
Oh, her, absolutely.
So how long have you been vegan for?
I've been vegan for 20 years.
Damn.
Yeah.
And what inspired that for you?
So I was born into a vegetarian family, so I've never eaten meat. So
that's like Max.
That's insane, right?
Exactly. So
awesome.
veg from 85 to like 98 ish.
Yeah.
And then vegan since then. And for me, it was 100% ethics. It was animals. That was the reason. But then again, it was like being straight edge. Like I didn't even really realize there was a word for it. I was just like, wait, okay, I get it that eggs and dairy aren't flesh, but they still come from animals, which means the animals are being exploited.
It's so hard to make that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I just sort of like made the logical conclusion that there was no way to have that much supply without some exploitation going on. Like there was just no way to have that many shelves in grocery stores stocked.
Think about how many eggs go through McDonald's a day.
Yeah, I was just like
bazillion. That's why they don't have breakfast all day. There's not enough chickens in the world to make them fucking eggs.
Well, I just realized, I was like, there's no way that that's actually humane. And so the more I looked into it and the more I thought about it, I was like, well, I'm just going to boycott this. I don't want any part of this. And, at that point, it wasn't like you could just go down and find a vegan restaurant.
Oh,
there was nothing. Like, there was
Brutal.
maybe, if you were lucky, there was soy milk, but you weren't finding any vegan cheese or vegan baked goods or vegan...
Tofu bologna, I was looking for it.
Yeah, that's
you
it.
sure
Like, you
were.
had the Eves, like, there was, like, a cup...
It was
Eves,
bologna.
yeah.
For
So
my Subway sandwich.
that's it. So you had,
Yeah.
like... a couple things like that you could have, but other than that, that was it. And so when I was first touring, it was van, trailer. I put a cooler in the trailer and I filled the cooler with ice at every bar that we would stop and play. And I had a little Tupperware with like salad and beans and stuff in it, and that was what I ate, and it was fucking good.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it's very different now, obviously.
So easy now.
It's so easy now.
Ever
So-
since I started, it got so much easier.
Yeah.
So when you guys got together, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't vegan. I've actually never dated like someone who's like, the beginning. If you call the beginning stage the dating stage, I've never had that with a vegan because he wasn't vegan yet when we were going through that.
Yeah.
And I remember like, when I saw his physique and everything, I was like, maybe he's vegan because, I was like, you can't look that good and not be vegan.
Yeah.
And so it was like trying to figure that out on the tour too, to see. And I remember Tommy Prong was talking about like what you eat and stuff, and in my head I was like, please don't mention any meat or anything, and then he said some meat thing and I was like, no. But I mean, you pretty much just took it upon yourself to go vegan.
Yeah.
You were making granola bars on that tour.
He was,
Was I?
he was already like you were pretty much already like so close to being vegan. It was just a couple
I
little
just changed two things I was
adjustments.
eating.
Yeah.
Really?
When I met her, she came out to see me in New York early, an early date, and I had to get her back to the airport, and we were running through the city, like hurrying up because I had to get her back to Newark. And we were starving, and she said to me, if we don't find me something to eat, we'll find you something to eat. And I looked at her, I'm like, fuck that. I ain't never going to eat anything in front of you that wigs you out.
Wow.
I'll never do that. And I never did, right?
Yeah.
So she, we went on some dates. We call them yum yum dates. We're addicted to them.
Yeah.
So we went to Peace Food Cafe.
Yeah, it's a great spot.
But first we went to Blossoms, and we had a meatball sandwich, and we had a Nutter Butter shake.
Yeah.
We'll get to the other soon.
I took a bite of that sandwich, and I just looked at her, and I was like, holy shit. Everything that because I didn't know what nothing is, so she would just order,
Yeah.
and she still does.
Yeah.
But everything that I would eat, I would just bite it and look at her and say, holy shit. Are you fucking kidding me? That's what sold me first was the food.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the best food ever.
Yeah.
And then only thing that I was eating that wasn't vegan, I had 2 chicken breasts a day,
Wow.
and I had whey protein. That was it.
Whey protein, yeah.
Everything else was vegan, and I just had to cut those out, which...
Switch to Vega.
Yeah, switched to
plant-based
Vega,
protein.
Shout to Vega.
and I hated the chicken breast because it really was... I had to cover it in that hot sauce right there.
Okay.
I would cover it in that, and I forget what else. Cinnamon.
Okay.
Just because I couldn't eat it anymore. It was like eating a dried out tongue or something.
Yeah.
That's what it was like. It was so gross.
Fuck, man.
It was gross.
Yeah.
But it was easy, and then it was about 6 months after I met you. I was just like,
6 months.
I've
Wow.
been vegan for I don't know how long. And I
Yeah, he
told
was
him,
vegan for a whole bunch of like. Just one day he was like, I've been vegan for a long time now. And I was like, really? Awesome. Now we'll make it official.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
when I first heard that, I was like, oh my God. I was so psyched.
But you
Yeah.
know what? Doesn't it just make you happy?
Yeah.
It makes you happy. It puts you in a good mood. It just changes your whole outlook
I'm
on
living a cruelty-free
everything.
life, and I heard
Yeah.
anything.
Exactly. I was counting how many chickens I didn't kill like the first couple years, and I was like, wow,
Yeah.
Wow.
holy fucking shit.
How did it affect two things? What did your family think about your brothers? Anybody around you? Your circle?
My mom keeps saying, hey, you want some shrimp? I'm like, why don't you understand what the fuck I'm telling you?
Yeah.
I'll have some nice chicken. Oh, would you shut up?
I knew the Italian family. She always cooking food and all that.
Well, she's Irish, so
Oh, okay,
she can't cook.
Okay. Okay.
But my brother Jerry, he's leaning that way. His son is vegan now.
Dude.
My singer went vegan. My
But
my
not-
bass
not-
player,
not
he
glam.
says he's vegan, but
In
I heard he
total.
ate fish, so I don't know. But my kids ask me questions about it.
You feel different?
Do I feel
Feel
different?
better, like different?
Yeah, I feel great. I'm leaner.
I was gonna
It's-
say, what about your workout?
It's I mean, the protein's the protein.
Yeah, you
you
said
know.
the same to me.
Yeah, me too. It's like I just leaner.
Yeah.
You can see more veins. I'm more vascular, and
Yeah.
I've been trying to do that my whole life, and now it's easy.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. So you were super psyched when he told you that, obviously?
Yeah. I mean, I've had like people I've dated or friends or whatever in the past that have either been super like mocking me for it and then gone vegan, or they've been interested and then gone vegan. So I knew that, you know, it can happen. I never push it on anyone, obviously, but like if they want to learn about it, I'm more than happy to tell them. Yeah, exactly.
Takes a little bit to learn.
It seems like that's how it was for him.
Yeah, totally.
Like, you should be like this. And
oh no, yeah. I mean, even the boyfriend I had before him also went vegan over the course of us dating, and I'm pretty sure he's still vegan. And you know, it's just like, I mean, it just makes sense. And I think that for me to get along with someone well enough to be with them in a relationship or in a friendship, they have to be compassionate and intelligent anyways. And so then you put that together with me, and the odds of them becoming vegan eventually are pretty high.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if he didn't change and still eat chicken. I don't think that would have happened.
I mean, it wouldn't change the way I see him, but it would probably affect our lifestyle a little bit in the sense that, like, I mean, I'm never gonna cook that, so he wouldn't be eating that at home. And then when
I don't cook, so
there you go.
It's like I got my manager. He's kind of vegan.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Pretty much. I mean, a lot of people just I get like on Instagram.
I'm sure a lot of people
DMs. Dozen a day. I'm vegan because of you. I work out because of you. I play guitar because of you. That's what inspires me.
100%.
Yeah.
That makes me so happy, and it's, you know, I'll always answer them back if I read it. I don't read them anymore because I just had it with fucking social media. I want to live in the real world.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to spend 4 hours a day looking at that.
It's
shit.
like a Misfits show in the real world. Locking the phone in that bag.
I did find it strange because you're so mysterious to a lot of people. When you were we came on social media, I was like, holy shit, Doyle's on Instagram. For me, I was like, holy shit, because you're like so off the grid kind of person.
Yeah.
You've always been.
Yeah.
But when you came on, obviously it did some good because you inspired a bunch of people to become vegan.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and I love making
positive effect.
Posts about veganism without writing any captions, and then everybody just goes crazy. But I took the comments off. You know, I just have people I follow can comment.
Yeah, I like that.
Fuck it. You know,
yeah, because it keeps you more in reality. Anyways.
And it keeps you not reading it.
Yeah.
You never look at it anymore.
I like that Moby says. Moby says you put a post up, doesn't even look at the comments, just keeps it moving. Because you can get caught up in a rabbit hole and start looking. Oh, you get like.
Yeah. I don't even want to look at who I'm following anymore.
Yeah.
You know,
it's so easy to once you step away from that and you get back into the real world, you're like,
these guys want to like a social media cleanse right now. I respect it.
It's so great. Yeah. It's so great to get those. We would get up in the morning, have coffee, and start fucking with that shit. And then we look at the clock. It's 1 o'clock. We're like, what the fuck are we doing? Yeah,
it's like the whole day's gone. We could have been working out. We could have been writing music.
If you're promoting something in your record, it's great.
Yeah.
Of course, it's a tool for sure.
Tool.
Yeah,
and it's a cool way to connect with. We've connected with other vegans on it. Connect with other musicians for sure. But there's other ways of doing that too because it's a small world. Yeah, it's a small. Like if I needed to reach whoever, I'm sure you know them or you know them. I could just get their number 100%. And it's like It's a small world when it comes to the music industry or the vegan world, and everyone knows there's max 6 degrees of separation between anyone.
Everybody.
Right?
Yeah.
So we'll find other ways of reaching
Sometimes
people.
you get good things from your DMs, like a company will call you and say, "Hey, I make this." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or I would get on the road restaurants calling me and saying, "Hey, I'm coming to the show.
I love that.
I got a restaurant. I'm like, I have 10 people. I always tell them an extra person, so they bring more.
That's what's cool about the vegan community is that they're so supportive.
Dude.
Yeah.
So supportive. Some of you may say, hey, I have like an organic, non-GMO, vegan drink. Maybe we could be a sponsor for your podcast.
That's so cool.
I'll look into it. Yeah.
Send it. Yeah. Let's try it. Yeah, exactly.
Did you meet Vega through social media too?
She met him.
Yeah, that was cool because
all Canadians know each other.
Yeah,
that's right.
It was like the organic way of meeting someone. Actually, it was the creator of Vega, Brendan Brazier.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
And he's he doesn't live in Canada anymore. I don't think, but
I think he sold Vega too. Right?
Yeah, he lives here.
But so rewind to like 2001, maybe, or maybe even before that.
Yeah.
Right when Vega first started.
Yeah.
And like we were saying, there wasn't that many vegan products anywhere. And so if I just saw the word, like the letters VEGA, I was like, please don't be Vegas. No, please be vegan. And so then I saw this product, Vega, and I was like, oh my God, could it be vegan? And then it was. And so I saw that, and that was like the Vega 1. So it was like the protein with the greens and everything. And so I was already like taking that on tour with me because if I couldn't find food or whatever, it was a lifesaver. And I worked in a gym at that point. That was my quote unquote real job. Was I worked in I worked in the bodybuilding gym in Montreal. And so at one point I'm in the gym, and this was like a weird synchronicity thing going on. There was a little snack bar in the gym, a shake bar that would make protein shakes. And so I went to the guy and I was like, why don't you guys use any vegan protein? Well, you don't have any like vegan anything. You don't even have almond milk or soy milk or nothing. Like there's nothing here for vegans. Would you consider adding something like that to your menu?
So,
and he was like, no, there's no market for that. That's what he told me. And so
what year was this?
It was like early 2000s probably.
Okay,
yeah. And so as I'm having this conversation, somebody walked up to the desk and needed a day pass for the gym. So I rushed back over to the desk so I could fill out their day pass for them. That person was Brendan Brazier, who happened to be passing through Montreal on a book tour.
Small world.
Yeah. And so he was like, hey, I couldn't help but overhear your conversation about vegan protein. And he gave me his card and I saw that Vega logo and I was like, this is the one that I have. And he was like, this is my product I just came out with. I'm from Vancouver.
Wow.
And so, and so I connected with him that way. And we sort of just kept in touch since then.
That's
and
awesome.
I've seen his, reach huge success with that, which was amazing. I went and took a tour of the Vega offices in Vancouver one year. And we've just kept in touch. But that was like,
that's awesome.
That was pretty funny actually, because it really is like we're from the two opposite coasts.
Yeah.
We're like the two vegans in Canada. And there we go.
That's amazing. Man. I didn't know he's from there. I thought he was from the U.S. That's awesome.
Yeah.
We were out to eat one time at Sage with one of my friends. And he's like, he goes to her, I bet all you Canadians know each other. You know Brendan Brazier? And she's like, yeah, actually I do. He goes, let me call him. He called him. 2 minutes later, the guy's eating fucking breakfast with
it
us.
was such a small
Really?
world.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that he lives out here.
Yeah. So that was cool because that was just one of those things where like you meet someone for...
He was at the Misfits show.
He
Oh,
was, yeah.
Yeah.
Shit,
Yeah.
Awesome.
Sure was.
Yeah.
Well,
Very
I
cool.
think we covered a lot. I think we covered a lot of things. I'm looking at my list over here. Oh, the one more thing I was going to mention to you about too is you guys dog or cat people?
Both.
Both. Okay. You have a lot of pets?
My mom's got like 85 cats.
Jesus.
I'm down to one cat now, but he's an awesome cat. So
you got more cats.
Well, the thing is, we would love to have a dog, but we are so nomadic.
We have to get the dog that could come with.
Yeah, we would need
about that the other day.
We need to get a dog who would be able to.
My singer's got a dog, a Chihuahua, Trixie Lou. At Trixie Lou is her handle on Instagram.
Yeah.
We take her on the States. Fucking great. It's so great. It's awesome. So great. You come, on the bus after the show and she's just like, oh my God, you came back.
Awesome.
Going crazy. And it just takes it all away. You know,
I love that.
all of a sudden you're not tired anymore. You're not, it's great. It's great.
Unconditional love from the animals.
It's so great.
Do you guys have any like daily rituals you guys do on tour and off tour that you stick to besides working out? Is like yoga or like meditation? Or
Yeah. We meditate. I've been meditating for a while, not consistently, but I'm trying to do it really consistently now. Working out. We both have our makeup
That's a ritual.
That it becomes part of the ritual actually.
Yeah. So
even just
it really does.
Is it safe to say it takes longer for Doyle to put his makeup on than you?
Yes. It does. But it does take him longer. But it's cool because it's still, you're looking yourself in the face for like hours on end before you go out there and do it. And I kind of need it. Even if I wasn't putting makeup on, I almost need that time to just like psych myself up. Yeah. And get myself in the zone, so to speak.
Well, you guys both have good skin without makeup. I've seen you both without makeup.
I'm
just putting it on the record.
It's like I get to be away from everybody for that fucking 3 to 4 hours a day.
3 to 4 hours
I spent 12 days in length on this last tour doing that. Just putting it on. Just putting it on.
12 times 24 hours.
And that's not counting taking it off.
Yeah.
Or shaving. I have to shave before I put it on earlier in the day.
Yeah, that's rough. I don't have to do that.
And she was doing longer than you for sure, right?
It's longer for him, yeah. But I warm up and he doesn't.
Yeah,
I don't
he'll stretch and stuff, but I actually take an hour and a half to warm up.
Too, right?
Yeah, the straw thingy. I'll work out too. I stretch. I usually try to do yoga and a workout, but it depends. Really the number one thing above anything else on tour for me is I have to try to sleep because if
so
I
important with your voice.
Insomniac.
Yeah.
She's never asleep.
yeah
Really,
I
you can't sleep. You're not a good sleeper.
never, but it's for some reason just now I'm starting to be able to sleep. So I don't want to like jinx it. I'm knocking on wood, whatever. But
This trip was a good sleep
You ever take
session. for her.
melatonin?
you know what? I've tried everything and like nothing really works.
You've been like that your whole life?
As far as I can remember, yeah.
Really? So how
Yeah.
many hours of sleep you think a night per night?
Now I'm doing pretty good. Now I'll wake up once or twice, maybe every 4 hours or so, which is not bad.
Wow.
But for a while, like I've done entire tours where I would sleep 45 minutes a night.
It's
like
so bad for your voice.
it's so bad for you in general.
I know.
Bad for your voice, bad for your mental health.
Yeah.
It affects me mentally a lot.
If people put that together, like sleep's so important for singers. On
Oh
Yeah.
God, yes.
Yeah.
The
more
most
than
important.
more than food, more than a comfortable temperature or any
Yeah.
other sort of
the
creature
tea and the
comfort.
honey and all that shit.
The
Well,
most important thing
More
is,
than
is
any other
sleep.
person on that bus is the singer has to sleep, and the bus driver.
100%.
Yeah.
People don't understand. Oh, it's easy. People don't understand that. With our Screaming in Zen, you know that, Melissa Cross? So
Mhm.
I was a part of that. She taught me how to do my scream without losing my voice. And she said the key was, it's not the tea and the honey, just shh, be quiet
Yeah.
for hours. Just don't talk all the way
She's
up
so
to the show.
cute.
I mean, yeah, she's awesome.
I love her so much.
I
She's
chew-
so
I
cute.
chew gum on stage because that's what Dave Grohl
Me
does.
too.
Chews bazooka gum. It's good to like keep your shit loose and like voice.
Ah, you don't choke on it? I would
do
be so afraid.
sometimes.
Yeah.
I do sometimes. I still saw Dave Grohl doing it, but he stands still. He doesn't run around like we do.
Right. Yeah.
But that's where I learned it from. You do too, right?
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would choke if I had gum on
It
stage.
is hard.
but-
I've
Yeah,
swallowed it a few times.
Yeah?
You know, because I eat bananas while we're playing.
Oh yeah, what is up with the potassium for?
I
muscles?
don't know. I just
It's a lot
My
of
drummer does
sugar,
it too.
good
There's
energy.
bananas for potassium
My
for
drummer has
muscles.
bananas.
Yeah.
Well, potassium helps you from getting cramps, actually.
Yeah.
But it's also like a good source of carbs and sugar, so it'll
yeah. I
keep you
just plus
give you energy.
I'm hungry.
do you have one brand of makeup you use that hopefully sponsor you by now?
Nobody sponsors me in the
Well,
makeup
who
department.
do you use?
Miron.
Miron, listen
yeah,
up.
it's vegan.
This motherfucker wears a show on stage all around the world, man. Pay attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
That's crazy. They should be
Yeah.
giving you shit by now. Fuck.
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's a process. People don't understand the process of the tour too. They think it's like super glamorous and you just on stage. There you are.
My
It's
day.
amazing. The crowd worships you. Then you leave and everything's great. You're in your bed chilling.
It's
not
so
like
not
that, dude.
glamorous.
It's
They-
fucking brutal.
Yeah.
They think they have people massaging us and walking us, like carrying us to the stage
Yeah, in a
Dude.
fucking
and bathing
clamshell
us
or
and
whatever.
shaving us and putting my makeup on. Man, my day, every second is accounted for from the second I get up,
Yeah,
you know?
It's
If
clockwork,
I have
okay.
30 seconds to lay down, I take it and I just totally relax for 30 seconds. Then I get up.
They say those quick power naps are really good for you too.
That's all I
Yeah.
get. Unless it's Friday or Saturday and we're on a little bit later, then maybe I'll get
You
an
go on
hour.
late too, man. He comes through town school and it's like we play at 11. I'm like, damn, we go to bed at 10. It's so
Yeah,
late.
yeah.
So do I.
I know.
yeah,
You guys go to bed early when you're off tour?
Yeah.
pretty much.
Are you a
Fuck
deep
yeah.
sleeper? Are you a snorer?
I
I feel
I'm
like Doyle is a snorer and a deep sleeper.
I'm asleep instantly, and if I snore, I get hit. then
Yeah,
I gotta
he
roll over.
sleeps. You're good at sleeping. You're way better than I am at
I'm
sleeping.
great at it.
I'm
You know
really
what's-
bad at it.
My wife, I don't grind my teeth when I'm home, but on tour, my band says I grind my teeth. Maybe because I'm anxious or
Nervous,
yeah, I don't do it home in
adrenalized.
bed, but there I grind my teeth. It's
Yeah.
interesting.
Maybe it's the bus shaking.
I love bus. I love going to sleep on buses.
Oh, instantly, right?
Yeah.
And, like touring is great if you're on a bus. Anything else is fucking brutal.
I won't go.
Flying
I won't
tours.
go.
Flying tours are so brutal.
Like
Or a
in
van
South
tour.
America, every country, every
Yeah.
day flying. People
It's
think
so
that's great. It's like you get to your hotel by 2 or 3 in the morning. You're wide awake. You pump from the show. You get to bed by 4. Like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. lobby call.
Yeah.
Fly all day.
Yeah,
Drive
you,
to
you,
Yeah, that's
that's
possible.
it. You do like
Do press. Try not to save your
Yeah.
voice. Do press. Dude, it's
you're getting like an
brutal.
hour of sleep a night on
I'm
on
not
those kinds
complaining,
of
people. We
tours.
love what we do. We're blessed to play music for this many years.
Yeah.
We appreciate all the support, but it's really hard, and we're fucking old.
Yeah.
Not you.
I feel fucking old.
You know what I mean? Like it's
Fly dates are brutal. You know,
Yeah.
I only got to do one with Doyle because we're poor, but we did one from, I guess, England to Russia without sleeping and did the show.
That's
Yeah.
fucking gnarly.
And
Yeah.
it was fucking hard, and she does it all the time.
Yeah, we
You
do
know-
it. We do it a lot. Yeah, we do it a lot.
But you're on a bus too, which is great.
Yeah, when it makes sense to be on a bus,
Yeah.
we'll be on a bus, which is fucking awesome because
But like,
My
what,
whole
what, what do you
band-
do in Asia
my
and
whole
South
band is-
America?
Can't
You're,
do it.
yeah,
you're
you can,
flying.
there's some territories you just can't. Australia, Asia,
You can't. You fly. every
South
day.
America, you have to fly.
But do you remember like going from a van to a bus or Winnebago?
best. best.
It's insane. It's like flying first class. I know.
Yeah.
Maybe I once.
I've never done that either. Yeah.
But going back to or something like that, it's like
yeah.
It just makes sense to have. People don't realize how sleep and health is so important on tour.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh,
to have
yeah.
a good show. Kids expect you like you're a machine. That you're a machine. Like you're play these shows every single night, but you can't rest. You can't sleep. You know what I mean? Like you need it. You're a fucking human being.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
really hard.
the bus makes it so much. It's funny because the bus is like the top of the top luxury as far as we're concerned. You know, like
100%.
you can lay down. Maybe you can't fully extend your legs because the bunks aren't
I
huge.
can't.
I'm sure
you know,
can.
Yeah, like I can. I'm short enough, but like my bassist, for example, is very tall, so he can't.
Mine too, Adam too is.
Yeah,
sideways,
exactly.
Yeah.
So like but at least you can lay down. You're not sleeping in like an upright seat, so
Yeah.
that's already an improvement.
But the bass player's in like fetal position. It's
Yeah.
hard for them, dude.
Yeah,
Me too. I have to be.
I mean, it definitely it's hard, but it's still such an improvement. But at the same time, most people can't even handle that. And
I
for
know.
for us, that's
I know.
the top of the top luxury. But it's still 12, 15, 16 people in one bus sharing that space.
And you're the only girl too.
Yeah, and I'm the only girl.
Dude.
You know, living together
So much
in that
respect
space.
for you for even.
Oh, thank you.
even like pursuing your career as a woman and doing what you do to be around all these fucking
Yeah.
shady fucking dudes.
Tell 'em
Not in your band, but I'm saying like
Wait.
in general
Yeah,
in this world
yeah,
of
yeah.
music.
Tell
Oh,
him.
I'm lucky that like my band and crew and our bus driver are all fucking kick ass.
That's
They're all
awesome.
awesome. Yeah.
Tell them about the shower and the garbage.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean people they like he was saying, they think it's all glamorous. They think I have a makeup artist and a hairstylist and a vocal coach and a whatever. It's like no. I drive the fucking van, you know, for years.
Yeah.
I was driving there, loading out the merch, selling the merch, settling as the TM, you know, like and singing. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. You know? And so for years that's how it was. Booking the venue, paying the venue, making no money, losing money, going back home, having a shitty job
DIY
because
shit, man.
because you can't have a good job because you're gonna leave again. So
so much sacrifice. Man,
yeah,
involved.
there's so
Yeah.
much sacrifice. And so, I mean, we laugh at, you have to be able to laugh at yourself. And so,
100%.
of course I did. This was funny because it was at a point where I already knew that I was going to be singing in Arch Enemy. We were already writing songs, but like we hadn't told anyone yet because it wasn't time to release any music yet. And I was like on another tour, like, you know, small tour. And I really had to take a shower. Like it had gotten to that point where I was like, okay, I know that like we're playing venues that don't have showers or we can't afford hotels, so we're not gonna like get a shower or whatever. But I was like, I really fucking need to wash my hair. Like I don't need that a lot. Like I'll go 2 weeks without washing my hair, but like it was at the point where I was like, I want to fucking wash my hair.
Yeah.
And so because at that point it was like a 4-band package or something, and my band at the time was headlining. By the time I got off stage, finished wrapping up the merch, whatever, all the other bands had already showered. And so
I
like
hate that.
yeah,
It's full of water and hair.
well, that's it. So
disgusting.
like 25 dudes or whatever already showered and jerked off in there. And so,
This
you know,
is true, people. What she's saying. This
Yeah.
is so fucking true.
Yeah.
You go backstage and it's disgusting, and the water's
it's fucking
overflowing.
gross.
It's
Yeah.
fucking. Yeah, go.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is not the first time I had to do this sort of like makeshift shower situation, but so there was a garbage can in the venue.
Wait. It's the garage in England.
So it's in England.
Oh, so the garage.
Yeah.
I know the garage.
So there was a garbage can, and I asked them for a clean bag, a new garbage bag, and I put the new garbage bag in the trash can, and I got in there and I asked them for an empty beer pitcher, and I filled up the beer pitcher in the sink with as stable a temperature as I could get out of the hot and cold taps there. And I was pouring the pitcher of water on my head, standing in the garbage can, so I wasn't adding to their flood.
Yeah.
So, you know,
A
but
bathing suit or something.
well, you know, I like closed the door and,
Oh,
you know,
so
and
yeah.
so I was standing in a garbage can with a pitcher pouring water on my head to try to shower that way. And that's how I did it. And
And that sums up tour right there.
yeah. And I mean, and that's just, you know, for a long time, I couldn't afford like the Flying J showers, like
Yeah.
because it's $7
It
is
is
still kind of
$7.
a lot.
It's
you know?
12 now.
Yeah, I guess it
It's
went
fucking
up.
12.
And so what
Used to
I,
be 5.
so what I would do is I would just take, you know, one of these camping bags, these like black neoprene bags, and I would fill
I
it
know
up
those.
with
Warped
yeah,
style, yeah.
yeah, exactly. Fill it up with the McDonald's sink or whatever. Fill it up with like warm water, and then I would just get in a bikini in the truck stop and just shower next to the trailer. You know, shaving my legs next to the trailer and stuff.
All the truck drivers like,
yeah, all the truck drivers were like, "What the?
am I dreaming?
Suddenly,
Mom, I'm dreaming.
suddenly all the high beams turn on. You know, but
That's crazy.
but you know that's like, and the thing is like that's what you have to do to be able to afford touring.
100%.
And I don't think people necessarily realize how not buying music drives bands to have to do this, how hard it is to do this. A lot of people think that you can just get in and suddenly be playing huge shows. Like, no, you're constantly paying your dues.
I'm
100%.
still paying my dues.
Yeah.
You know?
It's crazy.
Still.
Man. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, for me too, there's still situations where I'll have my tour manager holding a sheet around me so I can get changed in some corner next to a tree or whatever.
Nobody sees that shit.
Yeah.
They say, they just headlined the Underworld. It's an amazing show.
Yeah.
Now she's in the trash can behind.
Exactly.
Nobody ever thinks
Exactly.
like that. That shit happens all the time.
That's
man.
it.
Every day.
Sleeping on people's fucking floors.
Oh yeah, we've crashed at so many people's houses, slept on random people's floors, on their couch, like so many weird, sketchy situations.
Vans breaking down, getting broken into.
Oh yeah.
Everything.
Oh yeah.
Your Winnebago on the tour '96. These guys were like going under underpass, and the whole thing
got peeled off. It was too short. We told the driver, don't go under anything that's 10'6", you know.
This is crazy.
And then he goes under a thing that's 10'6", and I'm sitting on the couch, which was facing forward in the Winnebago, and the top starts peeling off like a sardine can. Like there's a T-Rex just ripping the thing off, and it's snowing. We were on the way home after the show, you know. The tour was done. And the fucking roof comes off, and I'm like scrambling. I jump over the couch. I go run in the bunk and stay in the bunk. And the techs were up there taping plywood that we took off the signs off the side of the road.
Right.
Damn.
Yeah.
There's every person in a band that I know has like so many stories. Like Michael, my guitar player, Michael Amott, has so many funny stories, like from his early days, like fighting crowds with a tree branch and like just like hilarious. And it's hilarious now. At the time, you don't
Probably wasn't.
You don't even understand how you're in that situation all of a sudden. But like, you know, you got to kind of look back and laugh. And that's also, I think, what makes us appreciate what we do so much, because
100%.
we know how much we've worked to get into
100%,
it.
man.
Yeah.
I don't think I did one show in South America that didn't end in a riot.
I believe
Yeah.
that.
A fucking riot where we were fighting the whole place.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah.
It's intense. I mean, it's, you know, you really sacrifice a lot to do this. And like you said, like we fucking appreciate it, of course. And we're super happy to be doing it. But it's just not all puppies and rainbows and glitter.
We earned
like
to do
it's,
it, you know?
we work hard.
Sometimes, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like being away and starving or missing your family or
Yeah.
shitty sound.
Or you're on the road and somebody in your family dies.
Yeah.
Like how many funerals and weddings and all that stuff we missed by
all my
following our
grandparents.
dreams and being on tour. Like I didn't find out my grandma died till like a week later because we had no cell phones in early '94.
Right.
Or '93, I was on tour, was sick of it all for 6 weeks. Didn't find out till I got home, missed the funeral.
Yeah.
I was out there like living my dream, like I'm on tour, I'm a roadie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, sacrificed a
My
lot.
dad died when I was on a Danzig tour.
Oh wow.
And I played.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I go home,
just like Glenn did with his mom.
he's gonna shoot me with lightning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
he
he's gonna want
he
you
would
to
be so
stay.
pissed if I left all these guys sitting here.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I sucked it up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's intense. I feel like if you haven't done it, you just don't know. A lot of people think they know because they've seen a show or maybe they've done like a weekend.
You think you know, but you do not know.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
you have no idea.
Yeah.
But we still do it.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Because we still like it, you know. It's still fucking awesome when it comes down to it.
Yeah, like being on stage is the most amazing feeling ever, but like the 23 hours surrounding that are fucking brutal sometimes.
Yeah, it can be
Brutal,
really
searching
hard.
for food, trying to get some sleep.
Yeah.
There's no fucking Wi-Fi backstage to even call anybody back home. And
Yeah.
it's freezing. The fucking catering sucks.
When I first was applying for visas and stuff to work in other countries with Arch Enemy, you know, I had to send them a scan of my passport so we could put together the visa applications. And they were laughing so hard at my photo because the passport photo at that point, I needed to like get a new passport, and I was so fucking broke. I couldn't even afford food because I had these like huge vet bills to pay for my cat who was sick. And like, so I was just like, well, I can't have food, so I'm just gonna not eat for a few weeks. And so I was just like starving, but so then I had to take my passport photo at that point. So my passport photo was like, I was all emaciated and gross and like super hideous. And so I remember sending it to Michael, and he was like, that's what you look like. What did we do here? What did we get ourselves into?
Oh shit.
But you know, because I like didn't care at that point. I was like, let me just get this done, you know, trying to, between everything else that was going on, struggling to find work and whatever, like I was just so fucking emaciated.
And that balance, like it seems like you kept it, the balance between like fantasy and reality of it. You're on tour and everybody loves you and the shows are great, and then you're back to reality in where you live, and like I had to do that when we moved out here to California and had hiatus with my band, so I was working at the Fonda Theater for Golden Voice, doing all the loading and stuff for like a year or two, just all that stuff you do in between, you know, and like just that reality, like. Because touring is fantasy. It's not real life.
Yeah.
Like we're in real life now, but when you're out there, it's just this amazing thing where all you have to do, you could sleep all day until you go on stage and just play, and then go back on the bus.
But it's still a job, and it's a hard job.
Yeah.
I remember doing like a festival with Danzig, and then coming back home like a day or two later when I got there, went right to work. It's blazing sun out. I'm throwing the garbage out at the shop. All this oil and just shit is going all over me. I'm getting stung by bees, and I'm like, wow.
There's like a black bear chasing
Yeah.
you.
That's when I was on stage.
Yeah, I was like, man, if all those people seen me doing this, they'd all fucking spit on me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why for us, it's just like I'm 100% sure I speak for all three of us in this room, where it's like we just see ourselves like the same as anybody in the crowd, as any of the crew, anyone working at the venue. We're like so the same because we do that shit too, you know?
100%,
so for us, it's like it feels weird if somebody, you know, puts us in a different category than them, because we're like, no, we're the fucking same, man. Just come say hi if you want to.
Yeah,
we don't bite.
Just
We're
fucking
humans.
chill, you know?
when
just
you
relax.
meet somebody and they're like freaking out that they're meeting you, that freaks me out.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with
Because I'm
you?
like, just come fucking... Just come have a conversation. It's fine.
But people are so intimidated. They put you up on this like pedestal thing, like you're like superior and shit. But we're not. We're just humans.
Yeah, we don't put ourselves there.
And there's a reason why like we play the music we do and we connect with the people we do, because we're just like you. We're the same kind of people.
Yeah, exactly.
Do people recognize you in your town? Do people recognize you without makeup walking around?
My town, they all know we're there.
Yeah.
And they don't care, so that's cool.
Are you guys like the heroes of the town, like the band that made it from your town?
Probably not.
Yeah.
We're like the Frankensteins. They chase us with torches and
Are you
pitchforks.
guys like the weirdo family in the town?
Of course. Every fucking place we lived, you know. I mean, the fans don't understand how hard it is to do this, you know. And I had a guy recently, I posted a picture of me and Kirk Hammett, and he made a comment. He was like, why don't you give back to the fans, because we made you. Put some pictures of you and the fans up there. And I was like, wait a minute, the fans didn't make me. I made you a fan of me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you didn't make me.
Yeah,
you didn't make me.
We created the music.
We created
and
the fan.
We're happy you like it.
You didn't create us.
And that, oh man, Doyle, it like gives so much back to the fans. Like he puts so much effort into his show. Does meet and greets with like 50 people a night. Like he does so much. So if anyone ever tells him he doesn't give, I mean, he just did 75 shows in 80 days. Like, you know, I'm just like, man,
30,000 miles.
they more than circumvented the planet.
We circumcised the planet.
The green? Was it Winnebago?
It is a bandwagon.
In the
bandwagon.
Shout out to bandwagon.
Yeah.
Those are great.
Yeah,
it's great.
But so I'm just like, man, he gives so much. And like, he does all sorts of shit. You know, like, you do too. I know we all do. Like, we do all sorts of shit that we never get credit for, and we don't brag about it, and fucking
100%.
charity work and charity donations, fucking saving waitresses' lives and shit.
I hate when
You
I
know,
see people
like,
post like, I just did this charity. Dude,
it's like we do all that
like
shit because we love
because they're not doing it for the right reasons
doing it.
either.
Exactly. We love
You're
doing
not
running around for Razor. Man.
That's a good story.
That was pretty
Is
funny.
that a dog?
No, so okay, this
is great.
This is just because if you visualize this, it's really funny. I mean, yeah, it's pretty funny when you visualize it. So we were in New York a few weeks ago. It was really cold, and we were walking to go get some food.
John's on 12th. You ever
John's
go
on
there?
12th.
Spot.
Fucking
Yeah, because we
great.
love that place.
So
The people
sick.
that work there are super cool.
Yeah.
It's like really like a cozy family place.
It's great.
Those
spot.
raviolis. Ooh.
Yeah.
Great spot.
Yeah.
It wasn't always vegan either. It changed. Like,
I know.
that's so
And the
cool,
fact
man.
that they like proudly advertise like
Yeah.
we have vegan food here, like that's
Yeah,
really
it's
cool.
good.
old school spot.
Yeah.
That's sick.
And so we're walking towards it, and it was starting to get cold, and I was telling him, I'm like, man, I can't believe people have to sleep on the street. And like every time I pass by a church, it pisses me off because I'm like, this huge
Should be full of
fucking
people.
building should be full of bunks for people to sleep and stay warm.
Word.
It's not fair that this establishment doesn't have to pay taxes, has tons of money, and there's people sleeping on the street.
And
Like
it's empty.
it's empty. Like there should be, you know, and you know, we were talking like, man, if only we had the money to get some property, we could like build houses for people, like just something, you know, to help people get on their feet again.
Yeah.
And so we're talking about this, and then we pass by this just big pile of trash, and on the trash pile there's like a cardboard sign that says vegan, trans, anything helps. And so I stopped and I was like, and he continued walking.
Vegan trans?
Like, yeah, vegan, trans,
Okay.
anything helps. If you have food, like it was just asking for like food, but it was just like a cardboard sign on a pile of trash as far as I could see. But I saw vegan. And so I stopped and he continued walking. So I went, hey dude, to like call him back. And then I hear this voice come from the trash bags go, yeah. And so I was like, oh shit, I'm sorry. I didn't know someone was in there. Like, I'm waking you up. And so this voice keeps responding and like, yeah, no, that's okay. I'm in here just staying warm. And so I get him to come back and I'm just talking to this person that's in there and I never see her. And she explains how she's trans, living in New York, and there are trans shelters, but she can't go there because she gets attacked because she's not technically, she has to go to the men's shelter, but she's not a man.
Okay.
And so she's telling me that they cut you off at age 24, I think she said. I haven't researched this, so I don't know the exact details, but she said they cut you off at age 24, and she said she was 51 years old, and she's been living on the streets for 6 years.
Damn.
And so I was like, well, what can I don't have anything on me. Like, how can I help you? And she was like, if you could just get me like a warm coffee and maybe some ginger.
I gave her protein bars because I always carry
Yeah,
them. In case people on the subway are asking for money, I give them food.
Yeah. And so we're like, there was a market across the street, and we're like,
is she vegan too?
Yeah, and she was vegan.
Vegan homeless.
That's it. So I was like, you know what? Let's go get her some good fucking shit.
We did.
So we went to the store next door, and we got some hot coffees and some like tea and like, good little goodies and some.
And we were scared we were going to lose our reservation because we were right on
top.
top.
So at this point we were going to be late actually for the reservation, but yeah, we went there and we went there and we gave it back, and just this little hand sticks out from the trash,
awesome,
and we just
man.
gave her the food and so we were trying to rush a little bit, but like eventually, we gave her the food. She was happy with it. We went and ate. And then on the way back, I was, I just said like, okay, if you're awake, bye, like as we were walking by, and she was talking to me and whatever. And he was, a little bit further away trying to organize getting a cab or whatever. But the funny thing to me that like, it didn't even occur to me, but to everybody, like, cause I was kind of,
it looks so funny.
I was dressed up kind of nice, I did my hair and like, cause we were going on like a date.
I like that.
And
when you wear that first dress.
Yeah, exactly. So, but then it didn't occur to me, but for like 10 minutes, I was standing there just talking to a trash pile.
I'm looking at her and I'm just like, I wish I should have filmed it.
And
it was so funny.
Because like she was, she had like an enclosure to keep her warm, and I talk with my hands a lot. So I'm like very animated when I'm talking, but I was like, to everybody else, they just see this chick standing here talking to a pile of trash.
I love that shit.
Trash heap like on Fraggle Rock.
Yeah, because in my head I was like, I have no idea what this person looks like. She said her name was Razor, so like I don't know who she is. Razor, yeah. So Razor, if you hear this, hello.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And you know what sucks?
Yeah.
I have these Doyle hoodies because I got boxes of them. And when you're cold, what do? You grab one of your merch shirts, right?
Yeah.
I had this really thick one. I got it with me now. And I didn't wear it that night. I would have fucking gave it to her.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, I don't even have it.
And so we asked her, we're like, where do you set up normally? Because next time we're in, I'll just bring all my old clothes if you want them. She was like, yeah, for sure. I'm always here. So we know where to find her now, at least. But
that's amazing. So she stays over by John's.
Yeah.
So 11th Street?
It's 12th Street and 2nd?
Yeah.
2nd Ave? Yeah.
John's on 12th.
But yeah, it's just so funny how.
It was funny.
I was just trying
She's
to.
over there talking to it like.
I must have looked totally nuts because like it didn't look like there was anyone there.
No, it looked like it was a really cool setup she made because it really looked like garbage, but you could tell it wasn't.
Super inconspicuous. Like
this lady's talking to trash.
Just like, why is that chick over there talking to the trash heap? But like,
that's amazing.
Yeah,
it was funny.
That been so funny.
I should have.
Also, I want to say that if you're listening on Nabisco, Nutty Butters, Nabisco, you need to sponsor Doyle because he's a fiend when it comes. No pun intended.
I'm addicted.
A fiend when it comes to your products.
Yeah, there's accidentally vegan
I have a
ones.
problem.
Yeah.
I love when you find stuff like that. That's like,
oh man,
the accidentally vegan.
Yeah, the Oreos it became vegan later on.
I ate the whole flat, the giant family size of the Nutter Butters after the show. One time I was eating them and I had my singer's other dog, who's a Chihuahua, Broody B, sitting on my lap, and I'm just eating them, looking at my phone, whatever. And he comes over and he goes, "Look what you do! You hurt the ones you love." And I looked at the dog; he was covered in crumbs, like
you hurt the ones you love.
Yeah, like snow. It was like a mountain on his head, and he's just sitting there looking at me like, what the fuck?
Are those on your rider every day?
No, fans bring them.
Okay.
Yeah, they bring.
It should be sponsored by them.
Usually, there's like a half a dozen bags on the bus.
If anything happens to this podcast, that you get sponsored by Nabisco and you get makeup for free for sure.
Yeah.
We'll give you a cut. One Nutter Butter per box.
When you're a workout maniac like you and you eat a bunch of cookies like that, do you feel guilty?
Nope.
So-
I'll eat them while I'm working out.
Wow.
I don't give a shit. I could eat anything. I've been working out so long. I could eat anything.
Yeah, he's in a
So
good
his
spot.
metabolism is still. At
Yeah,
your
it's
age, your
crazy.
metabolism-
It's crazy.
Wow. So you have a strict diet of any kind of shit you want,
No.
basically?
Yeah, I eat whatever I want.
Wow. Like a true vegan monster.
Yeah.
Whatever you want. So you never worry about
Whatever I
abs
want.
and none of that shit. You've had a
No.
six-pack since you were 10 years old? Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy,
I
man.
know. Good
Yeah.
genes.
Good
And a lot of
genes,
work.
man.
A lot of work.
A lot of work.
44
He's
straight,
very
44 straight
disciplined.
years of working out. I missed
Yeah.
1 year because I couldn't walk because my back was fucked up.
Do your brothers work out?
Yes. Not like
Did
not.
you ever get fights with them as a kid?
No, we never
awesome.
fought. We fight more now
Business
through
shit.
lawyers.
Yeah. And my brothers would give wedgies to each other. We didn't like physical fights or anything like that.
Yeah, if I want to talk to my brother, I have to call a lawyer.
And if you could name like you have a top 5 bands?
That's so hard.
It's so hard, right?
One band you love the most.
You know, I always say the same thing. I always say the Distillers, but it's just so
Dude,
true.
That is
Love the
awesome. They just
Distillers.
played we missed the show. The Palladium was so bad.
Ah,
Oh,
I
fuck.
know. I was
My
on
wife
tour. I want them to do more shows because
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
like to. I would like to open for them if they're listening.
Yes, that'd be
Yes.
sick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there one band you love that you think inspired you the most?
That's a really hard question. I mean,
Sabbath, maybe.
Eddie Van Halen inspired me to play the guitar again.
Okay.
Iron Maiden inspired me to play songs,
Okay.
to write songs rather. The Misfits period inspired me to play.
Yeah.
I mean, the best Misfits album is Static Age to me. It's the first one they did.
Great album.
Yeah, it's great.
But no other punk bands you liked that you loved?
The Ramones,
Yeah.
but you know, I don't know. I can't say there's one band that just I like what I do.
Yeah.
You know, I write shit and then I give it to my singer Alex, and when I get it back, I don't hear myself playing it anymore because I didn't write that part.
Yeah. I
It's
like
a new
that.
song to me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he's great at it. So I like
Yeah,
it.
he's great.
That's awesome.
It's, you know, so
So yours would be Distillers.
yeah,
Yeah, but
You
I
like them
agree with.
too?
I agree
yeah.
with,
We've seen them.
well, we saw Brody
we
and
saw
they
Brody
played
Dahl.
Distillers songs, but that was before they did the reunion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was cool.
What about hip hop? You guys ever into hip hop?
No.
Nah.
I can't see you.
No. I mean
I can see you, but not Doyle. I don't know why Doyle.
yeah, I'm just not into it. I mean, I like anything that's got good lyrics. So
Yeah.
even if it's rap, if it's got good lyrics, it's cool, but I'm never in the mood to listen to that.
Okay.
So I don't listen to it.
I like good songs. If it's a good song, I don't care if Britney Spears is singing it. If it's a good song, it's a good song.
So you think you bobbed your head to hip hop before somewhere? Like you like
Like who's hip hop? I don't even know.
like Run DMC maybe for you, or Grandmaster Flash, or back in the day shit for you. Remember Grandmaster Flash? That's your era.
I heard that word before. I don't know what that
Kumo
is.
D.
Yeah.
I heard that word too.
But Run DMC probably. Beastie Boys?
No.
Wow. So you're never in hip hop.
They were a punk rock band first.
They were.
They
You
opened
can
for
hear
us.
that.
Oh
in them,
shit!
though. You can
Give
hear
us some
that.
knowledge. Yeah, they were.
Yeah, they opened for us. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's when they first started. They opened up for you guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, and then finally, my final question would be favorite movie. He's a horror movie guy. What is that? What,
She likes Rocky Horror as her favorite.
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I want to take Max to that. We just talked about it the other day about Max old
Yes.
enough to go to that and see that.
Oh, yeah,
we
for
should see it
sure.
in New York, me and Moon.
Yeah.
You love that?
My,
See Rocky
yeah,
Horror?
it's great. I love
think
it.
that's probably my
I have it on my phone, the album.
Did you ever like John Waters movies? Those other crazy ones?
Yeah.
don't know.
Crybaby.
Yeah.
Oh, Crybaby's
shit.
great.
So good.
My
Yeah.
favorite is King Kong, starring Fay Ray with
Whatever
her
happened
Fay Ray with her delicate satin draped frame.
as it clung to her thighs.
Do you like the black and white movies, guys? You like that?
Yeah.
Moon loves that.
I like
They're
good
not kids,
movies.
dude. Just live in
I
the
don't
fucking-
care. You know.
You know what we started getting into recently also is just really looking at the gold. I don't know if it's called the golden age, but like Bewitched. I Dream
We're
of
hooked.
Jeannie.
That shit.
We're hooked on
We're fucking
Bewitched.
hooked on it
That's
because
what we
you
watch.
look at it and it's so the script is so well written and they're not relying on shock or gore or sex or anything to
True
sell
story.
it, which is like I get that those are selling points, but like this is actually just like so funny and so charming and it's
Yeah.
not using any of that,
Yeah.
and it's just like the
That's good.
acting in it is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bewitched
And-
was nice.
Yeah,
We're
and-
gonna do the monsters. We're gonna
Yeah.
do the monsters. We're
Yeah,
gonna
the
do
nose.
the Odd Couple.
Yeah, it's great.
Maybe Genie. We're thinking.
I Dream of Jeannie.
Genie's great. Did
A lot
you
of
do
that
like
shit.
I Love Lucy?
Oh yeah.
yeah, Twilight Zone.
How about you ever watch Burns and Allen? You ever see
No,
that?
is that a newer one? or
No, George Burns and Gracie Allen.
Oh shit.
Fucking funny, man. That's real old
She
school.
has like old school shit.
That's old.
Yeah,
It's so
I
funny,
just
but-
really appreciate, like when I because I actually studied film and visual arts and photography. I did study this in CEGEP actually. Not that it makes any difference, but like I studied that and I had an appreciation for that anyways. But I feel like it's like there's so much being churned out now just to sort of like, here's another Netflix series and you go through it all in one day. And it's like that shit's good too. But I really, knowing the effort that went into these TV shows and how like television was like a new thing at that point, like movies, like that was insane. You had it in color, like
and a woman lead too back then.
Yeah. And actually, I mean, Bewitched, in my opinion, and I think that they were probably doing this intentionally. It's like an interracial marriage, like because one's a witch and one's immortal, and like they address issues like that. And
that's a good point. Actually,
it's like it was just cool to watch it from a 2018, 2019 sort of point of view and see how it still holds up.
Yeah,
and. I think when that show started, they had no budget for wardrobe, so all the actors were just like bringing their own clothes to wear, and it's just like real like quality
authentic
entertainment.
shit.
Yeah, really appreciate those kinds of like just amazing actors and just how they were able to sort of pull this show together. And it's just
especially
really
back then too, and it had a long run too.
Yeah,
and MASH. You ever watch MASH?
Yeah, that's a good one too.
There's another question. How old when you got that tattoo?
17.
You guys got them together, you said?
Yeah.
And then just recently started getting a little more tats as you get older.
Yeah, well, if I go with somebody and they're getting one, I get one.
Yeah.
I don't really...
It hurts more when you get older, though, I think.
I'm not a tattoo fan, but...
How much space do you have left?
None. I got spaces where I can't really talk about or show you. But it's funny when you were on social media and you posted your knuckles, you're getting laser because you want to redo them. People are like, oh my God, you're getting your Misfits tattoo removed. It was so silly, man.
Well, again, it's people who think they know.
Silly.
But it's like... That's not your hand, and it's not your story, and it's
Yeah,
not your business, actually.
I showed Kat the other day, and I said, yeah, I'm getting this off, and I want you to do it, because that's the first thing you ever did, right? And she's like, yep.
Yeah.
That was the first tattoo she ever did was the Misfit skull.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I should have the best one, not the worst one.
Yeah, she should.
Yeah, well, I mean, finger tats get all weird anyways, right?
Yeah.
So.
I've been getting them burned off, and man, that shit's hot. Woo!
Yeah. I'm nervous about getting
I have a guy for you. He'll do it.
Okay, New Jersey.
New York City.
Okay, New York. And so would you guys consider yourself optimistic or pessimistic people?
I think I'm very realistic, actually.
That's exactly what my wife would say.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'd have to ask you what each one of those means.
Positive or negative person?
Oh, positive. I don't like anything that's negative is not allowed to be in my mind or around me.
Yeah.
I love that because people would think the Misfits, dark, skulls, death, without even reading the lyrics or anything, would think automatically devils, evil, Satan.
But I still like that stuff.
Yeah, but I'm saying though, from the outside perspective, like, what? This guy's positive?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I consider myself very much a realist, but that is a positive thing because in my opinion, I'm not kidding myself that everything's going to be fucking sunshine.
It's hard.
I know that things are going to go wrong, and I know that things are going to really suck sometimes, and I'm as prepared as I can be for those things, but I still like love and appreciate those things because it means I'm alive. Like it's still a part of life.
Yeah. And
it's the same way I look at lots of different, it's like I'm very anti-religion, but it's not because I'm full of hate and negativity. It's because I already know how to be a good person without some book telling me that.
Yeah.
I don't need to have the fear of some fantastic God creature punishing me in order to do good things. Like I want to do them just because I want to do them. So even if I'm saying I'm
a good person because you are, not because somebody told you to be.
That's it. That's it. Or because of fear of retaliation or anything like that. So it's, it's I call it realism, but it's
I like that.
But it's really, that's a really positive way of looking at things, I think.
I agree. My wife is like that too.
Yeah. The thing with me with the religion thing is I think concerts, metal shows, punk shows, whatever the fuck it is a lot just like the Christian church, and they look down on these kind of shows, but it's the same thing. You all go there, congregate to sing your songs, but there's only one fucking difference. Their gods are actually standing in front of them.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that so much. It's true.
And we're not asking anything from them,
No.
We're giving them music and we're giving them a show and we're just happy that they're there to appreciate it.
Yeah. I feel like music have changed people's lives in a more positive way than religion has.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and I think people got to stop fucking stealing it because they're killing us and and they're stealing movies.
Yeah.
They're illegally downloading movies and music, and it's just fucking everything up without the entertainment business, which is that.
Yeah.
Everybody's
what we
gonna
do.
everybody's gonna kill each other because there's
Yeah.
no release. There's no,
I agree.
you know, and don't do that because we need to make more. And if you take it, it's like taking our product. If I had a sunglass company and somebody came in and stole some, is that a crime?
Yeah.
It's a crime,
Yeah.
right? Why you're stealing our product, which is our song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I mean, yeah, I think musicians are the most ripped off out of anyone, you know.
Oh, so bad.
And it's even to the point that it's just like legal. Like, you know, you can just
Yeah.
stream it and you're not really paying us anything for it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. We still do it because we're still happy that people like the music. And it's just when it gets to the point that like people see all these big bands playing festivals and whatever and think we're like these millionaires and like,
yeah.
I'm still paying to play.
Yeah.
and like,
perspective is
you know,
everything, yeah.
like honestly, like probably most of the people in the audience drive a better car than me, have a
100%.
nicer place to live than me. Like I'm not complaining, but like
yeah.
I could make more money if I had just gone and done the things that school taught me and gotten a normal job. So it's
100%.
not like we're doing this for money.
I
We're
agree.
doing this because we love the music and we
100%.
love to do it. And us wanting to just be compensated, we just want to be compensated enough that we can actually continue to make the music.
Yeah.
Because
100%.
if we don't have enough to pay our bills, we're going to have to go get another job, and then
Yep.
we won't have time to make the music.
Yeah.
Or tour.
Then
Yeah.
you get no more, and you know it's yeah. Making it to me is having a car that works, having a roof over your head,
Yeah.
being able to eat and take care of everybody that you know is your family.
Yeah. That's all I want.
I don't.
Yeah.
It's not a yacht. It's not a mansion. It's not
Yeah.
$1 billion
No.
in the bank. It's enough to get by.
Yeah.
I agree.
I drive a
That's
fucking
making it.
15-year-old Corolla and I love it.
Sick.
You know, and like I'll never buy a car that's
My
worth
car's
more than
16 years old, I
3,000
think.
Canadian
Yeah.
dollars
I
or
love
something.
that.
You know, like I don't need status symbols. I don't even need anything fancy. I live in a house that not a house. I live in an apartment that's 120 years old or something like, you know, it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
and you know, it's just yeah, it's hard to explain, but a lot of people have a skewed view.
Perception of us.
Yeah.
Of people
Yeah.
in bands.
Yeah. Yeah.
The grass isn't always greener.
Yeah.
We struggle too. We go through a lot of shit to make the music and to be on tour and our
And I think
sacrifices.
that's actually what kills a lot of bands is that, you know, you get older and members get married or have kids and they realize like, shit, if I'm going to provide, I need to actually get a
Yeah.
job that will pay me some money.
Constantly,
And-
constant money.
Yeah, like a reliable source of income. And it's not, you know, in a way it's like, that's kind of selling out, but like you got to do that, you know? But then people think that if we want to be paid for the albums that we make, then that's selling out.
No, dude.
It's like,
pay
no,
for your
we-
fucking work.
Like we have
We don't go to
to.
work for free.
Yeah, exactly. Except for us. We work for free.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
People don't see all that stuff.
No,
That's what they want to see.
no.
We're just because it's so lucky. Blah 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 blah. We are lucky, 100% lucky.
Yeah.
But
We're lucky, but you know what? We were talented. You know,
Yeah,
we
we're
ca-
lucky and
we
we work.
created the art. You know,
Yeah.
we, and that's my favorite part of it is creating the art. I'd rather write songs than record a song any day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like it
Yeah.
when it's recorded so I could actually hear it, but I don't like the process of doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a motherfucker.
you
but
write songs for other people.
I wrote some stuff for her. That's about it.
Well, I'll write the
Write songs
vocals on
together.
it.
Yeah.
write
Yeah,
songs
yeah.
together.
We
That's
I mean, we
nice.
haven't like done them yet, but we'll probably do some. Yeah.
It's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I think this is great. I think we talked about a lot of awesome subjects. All my notes are behind me.
Yeah.
You guys have anything you want to plug right now? You guys are working on?
Oh, well, I'm just working on my solo album, you know, and which would be a lot easier to do if I didn't have to tour 300 days a year, you know. But like,
it is. It's hard.
but yeah, that's the thing. I just wish I could I wish I could clone myself so that one could be on tour while the other one's writing music,
I'd be
I
down
love
with that.
shit. That's sick.
you know, but I can't do that yet. So, yeah.
You do that.
What's
Have
that?
somebody like him to make up on and go out there and tour and be doing. No, I can do that.
Yeah.
A robot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You tour so much. It's like, when do you write songs? I don't want to touch a guitar on the road. My hands are killing me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even want to see it till it's showtime.
But yeah,
Yeah.
we're Arch Enemy's going to be doing some more touring this year, starting in March and hitting Asia, Europe, a bunch of. We're gonna tour a lot this
Let's
year.
see you over there in Europe for sure.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
What about you, Doyle?
I wish.
Yeah, I
You
wish.
might be over
We're
there.
working on it.
Yeah,
We'll see what happens. I don't know.
that would be fun.
Well, I appreciate you guys' time. I appreciate everything you guys done in music. Appreciate you guys being my friends. And thank you for you guys continuing to inspire people with veganism and music.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
And
Ditto.
we can hit up on here. I think it's pretty good, man. Talk about Zapdo knives, devil ox, yoga, Misfits. I'll cut all this shit out anyway. I'm just rambling right now. All right, good. Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Hey guys, thanks for listening. Please rate, review, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet to this podcast, please do that. And whatever platform you are listening to this on, I'm glad you found me. You can rate me and review me on there also. So thank you guys sincerely for the support. I cannot wait for you guys to hear the next one.